What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sandlot Gaming's Dungeons and Dragons, where we are playing through the Tomb of Annihilation module in Dungeons and Dragons 5e. We are in our, I believe, fifth session or fourth session with this module. A little misleading from the title. We had some cleanup to do from our Season 1 module of Lost Mine of Phandelver, but where we left off last week, got into some trouble roaming around town. We went into somebody's house to procure a guide. Some of us started snooping, and one of us ended up filled with javelins and unconscious on the ground. So in order to save that person, Zygmundo, our wizard, gave himself up, and we were able to get Steve, our warlock, out of there. That said, let's jump in. So we're going to have to figure out how to get Zygmundo free for the first part of this campaign. So let's jump into the chat and see what's going on. Zygmundo free for the first part of this campaign. You guys can hear me. See what's going on.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, I'll be right back. Let me just step away for a second.
Oh wait, hang on. I can hear myself echoing.
Yeah, that's because of me.
Okay.
He's your one listener.
We apologize to our internet fans out there.
Both of you.
Andy's around, right? Because someone has to make decisions.
I'm around, but I'm gonna be hitting this for a few minutes here.
Oh God,
we're all okay. Well,
I'm not making decisions.
Decide what you want to do, and we're gonna just follow you around.
Goodbye.
Any decision is whatever Squawk decides to do the opposite of.
We might want to consider for the future. I was watching some streams, and apparently it is standard practice to have a face, and the face does most of the interacting with NPCs. I'm not that they decide themselves. Typically, the group will decide how to approach it, but then the actual execution of it, there's a designated player.
Kind of like a leader of the party.
We've been passing that baton around. Like, I think that we do a pretty good job of only one person's in charge of talking to a particular NPC at any given time. It's just that we pass that baton off to. Then the actual execution of it, there's a designated.
Oh man!
Sorry, guys, I'm going to make the music loud for a second.
We've been passing that baton around. Like, I think that we do a pretty good job of only one person's in charge of talking to him.
I'm gonna mute Troy momentarily since I'm the one streaming, and you guys can work with him. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, and a whole lot of other sounds. Oh, okay. There go the other sounds.
I'm muting the other sounds because that is awful. I don't want to have to listen to that again.
Yeah, I could live a long and fruitful life without having to hear my own voice recorded ever again.
Did everybody vote in the poll? What are the results?
We're still hearing playback from somewhere.
I am not hearing playback, so it must be from Troy because I muted him.
No, he muted you because of the playback.
Should I unmute you?
Okay, go ahead. Mike, unmute Troy.
I have unmuted Troy.
Okay.
So sorry I didn't communicate accurately what was going on there. So what I was trying to do is listen to that music through the stream because I can't hear what it sounds like from your end. It sounds fine if I record it using something like Audacity. I think it's the Discord compression algorithm that's causing an issue.
Interesting.
So I'm just trying to, and I can turn the volume down a little bit, but I needed it to be loud enough because I couldn't hear the tavern music over top of Hillers. So I had to crank it up a little bit. So all I need is like 10 seconds of being able to hear it so I can understand what you guys are hearing.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Brace yourselves. Brace for impact, everyone. That actually
Is it time for my slam poetry monologue now?
Go for it.
Meryl, OPS is what?
OPS is on base plus slugging percentage.
On base plus slug, that's what it was.
Nats are on pace, man. 162-0.
I know.
You guys and your baseballs.
Oh, I watched the Nats game today and last night. I saw that grand slam. That was pretty nice.
He got beamed today. Did you see that?
No, you did.
Yeah, he came up to pinch hit in the
Good win?
8th or 9th inning. Yeah, first pitch, the guy hit him right in the back.
Jesus.
Oh, I stopped watching at the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah. And
Man, that's that Eaton guy. I mean, it's 3 games, whatever, but you know.
who, Adam Eaton?
Yeah.
He's a beast, dude. Did everybody vote in the poll? Did they answer?
I did
Um,
not.
It looks like we
Do your
have
homework, people.
one vote for prison break and 2 votes for negotiation.
So
Like
let's talk
things.
about having a face of the group. I think I have probably disqualified myself from that. So is there anyone left in the running for that?
Andy.
I'm out.
I don't.
He's the only one that hasn't tragically botched it
I
at
don't,
least
I don't know that
once.
Zygmundo's done anything wrong either.
Well, Zygmundo's not exactly alive. So I think you have to be able to talk to
He's
be able
he's
to
alive. He's
I'm
still
alive.
alive.
Zygmundo's alive.
Steve is the one that's unconscious and filled with javelins right now.
Oh, right.
It hampers my ability to communicate.
Thank God.
Kindle it.
I have to worry about what spear to plug that microphone into.
Yeah. It's about the only thing that can stop my undeniable charisma as being pin-cushioned with javelins.
Well, there's other characters we have with undeniable charisma that mixed bag.
All right, so my experiment didn't work.
Until next time. Oh wow.
Did Andy come in while we?
I'm here. I'm here. Yep.
All right, so we have everybody, I think, right?
Yes.
Good. All right, we ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
We are.
Okay, so let's see. Last time, 2 weeks ago. Oh boy. So I think first we started off with a bit of a watery escape from Steve as he fled the scene of the docks, where a gentleman who had asked you all to, well, ultimately asked a disguised Hillers to find 2 ruins in the jungles of Chult. Figured out that he'd been bamboozled by Steve, brought him to a ship in the docks, sicked the sailors of the ship upon him, and then Steve managed to escape. So the group got together the following day, and amongst other things, I think you all decided to go after, or to secure a guide after meeting a few other folks. And the guide that I believe that you were all pursuing were Farul and Gondolo.
EQ.
EQ.
Oh, EQ. Oh, okay. Sorry. For some reason, I thought.
Triceratops guys got second.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
We were scared because they had a Triceratops.
It's a triple-edged sword when someone brings their own Triceratops.
All right. So, as part of seeking out EQ, it was recommended that you meet with Jobal, who is one of the 7 merchant princes that leads Port Nyanzaru, and specifically is the merchant prince in charge of the guides, because each of the merchant princes has kind of their own fiefdom or specialty in terms of the marketplace, and that was Jabal's. So several of you made your way over to Jabal's place, while a few others scouted around for sites of dinosaurs that Andy could Roland could transform into in the future. Made your way into Joe Ball's Merchant Villa with some nice talking and good face work there. And then it kind of started to get a little weird.
And things started to unravel.
Started wandering the halls and assaulting kitchen staff and turning yourself invisible and hiding upstairs while the rest of the party gets thrown out, and then try to make your way out invisibly. Zygmundo is caught. There's a bit of a fight / escape. Zygmundo manages to make it away. Steve comes back for him, is downed by these
So many javelins.
guards throwing javelins. And Squawk and Zygmundo come back, and Zygmundo trades himself in exchange for Steve's life. So Squawk and Steve are now, I guess Squawk's taking care of an injured Steve, and Zygmundo has been captured by the guards of the Joe Ball estate. Did I miss anything?
You forgot that Mike was threatening zoo guards.
I didn't threaten anybody. It was not a threat. I was trying to have a conversation.
Hey, you ever seen a fist glow like that?
Yeah, I mean,
was
if I
trying to
was
do a magic
guarding,
trick.
say, like a bar, and then somebody just blew up a tree near me, I wouldn't find that threatening at all, right?
Well, look, I'm an elven monk. I'm not the best at small talk, okay?
All right.
Not what I do. I punch things.
So I'll ask Squawk. So Squawk, you see as you've kind of pulled Steve out of the front yard of the villa, you see several of the guards come out with these big manacles, and these are actually kind of covered manacles made out of looks like maybe iron to you. They clasp that on Zygmundo's hands, kind of tie Zygmundo's hands behind his back, so that his it looks. You've seen these before. These are the kind of manacles that they use on wizards and mages to ensure that they can't cast spells with they can't do the hand motion.
The hands, yeah.
So
jazz
you're
hands.
able to pull kind of Steve off to the side. They don't seem to be paying too much attention to you, but Steve is, if I recall, he's stable. So you're not dying, but you are unconscious. Zygmundo, you get led away back inside of the villa. Squawk, what do you do?
All right, so he's stable, and the guards are. And how many? There's like 4 guards.
There were 4 guards, yep, and now they've just kind of gone back inside.
Okay.
With Zygmundo.
All right, and Steve is relatively safe right now, and the guards are like their backs are towards me, walking Zygmundo in.
Unconscious. He's hurt. He's banged up. He's not gonna, as best as you can tell, he's not going to just bleed out and die. You think that he could be left alone for a while, but he's helpless.
All right, so I am going to. So after tending to his wounds the best that I can, Squawk is going to jump up in the air and fly and start looking for Roland and Recto amidst the crowd. Is it still pretty?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull us back over to the map. Yeah, we're probably in early afternoon right now.
Okay. And they told us they gave me a general idea of where they were going to be, right? Like they said, guys, we're going over here. Don't do anything stupid. We'll be right back, ish.
Yeah, I think I remember it being something like that.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid, I think was the exact quote.
Yep.
So, what you remember is that they were going to head to Tiriki Anchorage to look for some dinosaurs. And then all of you were supposed to meet at the Grand Souk afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Which is number 6.
One of the number 6s.
Right here.
Yeah, I'm still going to do the same thing. I think that's my goal is to find to bring Recto and Roland into the situation and tell them about Steve's bad decision choices.
So you're leaving Steve on the side of the road by the villa.
So all right. So I thought that he was like relatively safe.
I mean, like you guys were in like basically the front yard of the villa, like next to that cul-de-sac when all this battle happened. You can pull him away so he's not like going to get necessarily run over by a cart or anything like that.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I want to pull him off to the side. So my strength's not high enough that I can't really take him with me, and me just standing there like tending to him is not going to do any good. So I want to bring. So I need to get Roland and Recto. So I want to pull him off to the side. I want to tend to his wounds the best I can and get him out of the way, like in future danger.
Okay, so tending to his wounds, I mean, he's stable. I don't know that there's much more you can do to help him other than, I mean, if you have a healing potion or something like that, you could do something.
Which I do not.
So is tending to his wounds just kind of like, is there anything mechanically you want to do with that?
Mechanically, aside from like pulling out the javelins that are making him look like a porcupine and like stabilizing him.
All right. Okay. All right. You pluck him.
Yes, I put some leaves on it. I put some leaves on it and rub some dirt on it.
You do your bird regurgitation thing, kind of.
Yes.
Oh god.
Excellent.
Yeah, I chew up some. I eat a worm and I chew it up and I start spitting it into the wounds.
This can't be said.
Healers, we can't hear you if you were trying to talk. I see you in chat.
He's unconscious. He
He's
can't
dead,
talk.
or he's unconscious.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's what
all
happens
right.
when you go unconscious.
He's RPing the shit out of this.
He is. He's killing it.
So all right. So you kind of you pull him to the side of the road. You feel like he's not going to be immediately injured by the passerbys. For hopefully, and then you take off. Where do you head?
North-ish to around. So I'm gonna start northeast.
So basically, so you're going to the Grand Souk, or are you going to Tiriki Anchorage?
So they were last I knew that they were going to the Tiriki place, right? No, I guess they were at the Grand Saruk. They were at Grand Saruk looking at dinosaurs, right?
No, so they went to Tiriki Anchorage to the far east, and then the plan was after they finished their work and after you had finished your work, everybody was going to meet back up at the Grand Souk.
Oh, then I'm gonna head to the Grand Souk. I'm gonna head to the Grand Souk. Yeah, I'm gonna start at the Grand Souk and then work my way east from there. Like I'm gonna backtrack in reverse from.
Okay. So you fly over to the Grand Souk, but it is a giant tent, right? So from the sky, yeah, you can't see them from the sky.
Obviously, can I go into the tent? Like, is the tent is this like a bar, or is it like
it's like a big bazaar? So you can definitely and walk inside.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Is there room to like fly above the crowd, or is it like
no? It's
room only, for lack of a better.
Well, it's not. The problem is your wingspan. You're just not going to be able to get.
That's fine. Okay. So I'm just gonna go. So I'm gonna go to Grand Siduk and hastily like look around for Roland and Recto.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay.
And Recto and Roland, what are you guys doing once you?
Well, I don't know where we are.
I heard you were walking back there, but
Yeah,
I mean, that was our plan, was just to head back. I don't think there was any side things, at least on my end.
yeah. I mean, I think the plan, the reason we met at the Grand Souk was to kind of get supplies and kind of gear up and get ready to head out.
yeah. So it's not like a hotel. There's not really sitting areas, right? It's a big market,
Right.
stall.
Yeah, so
Either side of the three main thoroughfares.
I would probably be going from stall to stall looking for maybe some like healing potions, provisions, things that we kind of talked about last week, but we never really got into the details of what we would really need to go out.
Elves be shopping.
Yeah, monks be shopping.
Okay. And Roland, anything extra you'd like to add?
No, I would probably be doing the same thing, looking to see if there's anything of interest that popped up to me, magical or otherwise, I felt like we had to take this trip with us. But
Okay.
being knowing that they had a very simple thing to go and do, I would probably have no cares and just be doing some shopping.
Okay. So,
I mean, what could go wrong?
Right? I just have to ask where a person lives.
Right.
so Squawk, it takes you about 10, maybe 15 minutes to find them, but you are eventually able to spot them in the crowd and kind of push your way through. It's really crowded. It's busy. It's basically prime time in the Grand Souk, but you are able to spot them in the crowd and approach them.
Hey, man, how'd it go?
We need to go to Jobal's.
Yeah.
And I think his voice is going to change again now. I guess he's going through Birdie. That's like a play on puberty. I don't know. We kind of need your help. So Zygmundo has been captured.
What?
Sorry, what?
Zygmundo went invisible. We need to go see
Slow
Jabal.
down. Slow down.
We need to go see Jabal. We need your help.
Who captured him?
Zygmundo got himself captured in Jobal's castle.
Wait,
All right.
wait, how
Steve?
how did that happen? You're just supposed to go and find a guide. How did
He
this
went
turn
off
into a prisoner
exploring.
situation?
I'm not really sure. He went off exploring. He got captured. We need to go save him.
Okay, and where's Steve?
Where's Steve?
Steve's at Jobal's. We will meet him there.
Is he captured as well?
Steve is not captured. Little man is not captured.
So who captured Zygmundo?
Jobal's guards captured Zygmundo.
For wandering?
I'm not even sure what Zygmundo was doing, but the guards got very angry and took Zygmundo hostage. Captured.
Is Joe Ball there?
I do not. Jabal might be there by now, but he was not there when we.
Did you speak to anybody about obtaining a guide, which was the main goal in going to
Did you
that
get
house?
the guide information?
Well, Jabal was not there, so we were not able to talk. We were wasting a lot of time. We need to go get Zygmundo.
All right. I reluctantly agree to follow into God knows what.
Yeah, before we go, can I see if I can obtain like a healing potion or something? Have I been able to do that?
What is it you're looking for?
A healing potion.
Just a normal healing potion?
Yeah.
Then yeah, there's plenty in the market.
Standard
Their
price.
handbook.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll grab one of those. I would have grabbed one of those before you got there.
We really need to go. This is kind of important.
So Squawk, you can fly back, obviously, but the other two presumably cannot. And just to remind you guys, you basically have to go all the way north up to the Merchants Ward northern entrance, and then back down along these bridges.
How do you plan on us getting Zygmundo out of being a prisoner? Why didn't we? Did you explain yourselves to them? I don't understand how this. I mean, this is a lot to take in here.
I'm not with them because if we've left, I'm going to fly back and take care of Steve.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So Recto and Roland.
All right. Let's start walking over there.
All right. So Squawk, you land, and there were a couple of passerbys kind of seemingly kind of poking Steve with a stick a little bit, wondering what's going on. This corpse potentially by the side of the road, and then becoming even more confused when they see that he's alive. You're able to land and kind of shoo them away, and it's going to be probably about 30 minutes before Recto and Roland will arrive.
I should go find the kitchen staff.
Want to get a break? Hey.
Okay. I'm going to continue to tend to Steve. I'm going to prop him up and get him some water from the fountain.
Yep.
We'll be camped up by the fountain. Now, I can move him from this ditch, this proclaimed ditch.
Yep.
I left him in. We're gonna move him. Right, I'm gonna pull him over by the fountain. Is there a bench or something by the fountain, or is it just?
Sure. Yeah. There's 3 long benches kind of circling the fountain.
Oh, well, if I'd known that, I never would have gone into the house in the first place. Bad DMing, redo it. So I'm gonna lay him down on one of the benches and give him some water and try to tend to some of his wounds.
Okay, so he's still unconscious, but you're able to tip his head back and pour a little bit of water down, and some of it just spills out. But you're able to, you feel like some of it kind of got down his throat.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what is the rule for regaining consciousness? That's like once an hour, isn't it?
So I think you regain 1 hit point after 1d4 hours. I think what it says.
Well, this is all less than an hour we're talking about here.
Okay, I didn't know when the roll happened, so cool. No
Hey,
big deal.
hey, Troy, it's so sunny behind you. You've gone silhouette.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
It adds to the mystery of Dungeon Map.
The thing you need is a fog machine.
Yeah.
He left his cloak at home. Well, yeah, I guess you were at home, so at work.
Okay, so about 30 minutes pass, and Recto and Roland arrive at the fountain.
The whole way there, we were coming up with ideas on how this could have possibly happened.
Jesus, look at this guy. What the hell happened? As I kind of run over to Steve, since I'm the closest thing to a healer this party has.
The guards got confused and attacked Steve. While we were waiting for you, the guards kind of attacked Steve.
Did you spit worms into his wound?
I am not a medicine. I tried to heal his wounds.
Well, is this how your people do this?
It is. That's how I got this. And I show him one of my scars.
That checks out.
Yikes!
All right. Well, I'm going to start kind of tending to him and removing the spears from him as we try to get the story as to what's going on.
Okay. So you're just doing a normal tending to him?
At right this second, I'll probably throw a spell on here, but I'm trying to just that's the first thing I'll do is run over and just.
All right. You kind of scoop the worms out and try to use some bandages from your pack to just make it a little bit
You
nicer.
just left him here like this in a fucking ditch. Bird.
I kind of like just. You see that? Yes, that's.
As I'm doing this, look around a bit and see if there's just anything like, are we in a safe area? Are there people approaching, advancing? Like, what can I tell about it since I just showed up here?
So there's not it's not very busy. You probably see maybe 8 to 10 people milling about in this cul-de-sac, mostly coming and going. So they're not really hanging out per se. They appear to be primarily messengers and delivery folks. You're starting to see a few laborers leave and head back to the northwest. Looks like some people are clocking out for the day. You do see a relatively large procession with a palanquin coming down the bridge towards Joe Ball's house.
I'm going to quick heal Steve to get him up on his feet. So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds I'm going to do it at a level 2.
Okay.
So I believe he gets the second. Let me type it out here. I forget.
Yep.
I haven't actually had to. How do you just add it into your?
So what does it say? He gets what? Oh, there we go.
So the 1d8 plus your spell casting is what I got at the top, so I rolled a 1.
So he gets 5 plus the 3 at the top for the higher level cast, I think.
So it should be 3D. It'll be 3d8. Okay, so it's going to be. All right.
So it's going to be 2 1d8s with one of them adding my cast.
2d8 plus 4.
So roll one more d8.
No. So if you add the 5 and the 3, that's what you have. 1d8 plus
It is a
4 for the
1d8.
first one, and then the 3 is just a 1d8.
Oh, but hold on. Plus the but he really should have 3 d8s because did you cast it as a level 3 or what did you
Level
cast?
2.
Level 2.
Oh, level 2. I see. Okay.
Which
So
would
then
be
it's
8.
3. Yeah, 8. All right. So Steve, you regain
God,
8
what
health.
some shit rolls.
You kind of come back to consciousness as you feel the holes in your torso begin to knit themselves together.
Steve is upset. The memory of it is not terribly clear. I'm a little shaken up. I am a little bit bemused at the holes that are in me and the fact that some of them seem to be filled with regurgitated worms. I'm starting to put it. Yeah, I'm starting to put it together, and I don't like the answers I'm coming up with here.
Okay,
Yeah.
just as a reminder for how this all played out, for how it actually played out, is we were asked to leave. They were starting to get aggressive with us. I talked them out of getting aggressive, and we were just thrown out. Not that that makes it any better, but they were not aggressive towards us. They were not aggressive towards us when we left.
Is this what Squawk is saying to Steve, or?
Yeah.
No, I'm reminding the party. I'm reminding the party of this. Like, I'm just telling everyone that, so for role-playing purposes, that Squawk, talked them out of killing us and of engaging in combat. It was Zygmundo. Yeah, I know, but
But is it not his fault that they even got aggressive in the first?
I feel like being filled with javelins is a sign of aggression.
I am, but again, if it was Zygmundo trying to get out, it was Zygmundo escaping because he wasn't with us because he was infiltrating them.
I have
Don't
a
worry,
feeling
That caused the aggression. It was not Squawk talked us out of it.
I'm not directly leveling blame here. That just is going to lead us down a road that
Someone was invisible.
Hang
I
on,
think.
my point of saying this is that for purposes of as we're going to explain over the next hour or however long this conversation is going to take, is that for accuracy purposes, Squawk did not cause this aggression against Steve. Technically, this particular branch of aggression was not caused by Squawk. So that's all I want to remind before we get into this.
Why don't we see how that plays out more in character?
Yeah, I have a feeling this is all gonna get rehashed here pretty soon.
And that's fine, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just saying from a Steve saying for a role playing.
Steve isn't.
I am reminding everyone of the chain of events that happened, and now let's play it out.
Yeah.
I'm turning my head towards Steve as a party member I've known for more than a day, and asking him what happened as I urge the rest of the team to get the hell out of the way of what looks to be the guy who lives here coming home.
They'd be like, God, I'm all covered in blood. I was just sitting on a cushion.
Can we get into some bushes out to the side or something where we're not seen? May I suggest to the group?
Ambush.
Okay, you can get into a different bush.
So there's not a lot of cover.
Not a lot of foliage in the middle of the
public
city.
street. There's nothing wrong with being in the public street.
Okay. So we're not in his
Really get into
his
the
driveway.
bushes. You have to go into somebody's yard.
Okay. So we're not.
Hey,
in his
let's do
driveway
that.
here.
Some of this blood is clotted. Did he leave me in a fucking ditch?
Steve, the bird hasn't told us anything. What the hell happened in there? You were just supposed to go in and get a guide.
It was a
and
mess.
leave.
I was just sitting on a cushion, and then they kicked us out. I told them I wasn't with the bird. They threw us out anyway, and then Zygmundo runs out like a striped ass ape, and then out come the javelins. We offered no violence to these people. We were complying with their orders.
So you were just sitting in chairs and they started throwing javelins?
I was. The other two wandered off. Hell if I know. I probably should have left them to their business, or better yet, told them not to do that. But
there was no
hindsight's
violence?
2020. Yeah, there was violence. I'm covered in javelin holes.
So you
Why
never
did they take
never
Zig?
attacked the guards?
I never attacked the guards at all. I tried to get them to run away when it looked like they were going to murder Zygmundo, which they might be doing right now. I don't know exactly how long. I've been in a ditch.
Murdering him?
I don't know. They seem like pretty angry guys. Didn't seem to bother them to fill me full of javelins.
So Steve, as you're describing this, the palanquin kind of goes past all of you and pulls up into Jobal's villa.
Oh, I have a question. Did Hansy dissipate when I went unconscious?
I think someone
Probably,
did.
yeah.
Shit. There's another
Is
10.
Hansy a concentration? Like, does Hansy require concentration to go?
No, it's fun familiar, but I don't remember if it ends when I get knocked out. If he's still around, then I have jobs for him.
Steve,
No, actually, he's probably still around.
All right.
He was a little aimless while you were unconscious.
Can he follow basic directions that I give him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to follow basic directions that we give you.
That's glass houses. They're squawk. There's so I tell him Zygmundo's somewhere in the villa. Stay out of sight. See if you can find him. If he needs help, help him.
Okay. So you see Hansy turn invisible. You can see through his eyes as he starts to fly off towards the villa. The doors at the front are closed, but you see Hansy start to kind of flap around and peer into some of the windows.
Yeah, and I would expect from him an always stealthy approach, like maybe follow Joe Ball in when he goes in, or somebody.
Can we hear him say? Can we hear him saying this? Is this a telepathic thing, or are you saying this out loud?
He can normally command them Hansy telepathically.
Okay,
but
I generally do. Yeah,
do it out loud.
Okay. In this case, sure, I will have done it. Not quite being at the top of my game. I'll do it out loud.
Okay.
Well, then I would like to say no. Don't do that. Let's not make things worse than they are. And
he's fine. He won't cause any ruckus, but we don't know what they're even doing to him in there.
Yeah.
Better to have some eyes on the inside, I think.
All right. So the last time we left you guys to do something at this house, you got filled with javelins, and we got a prisoner on our team now.
I was sitting on a cushion.
Right.
He won't do anything. So he's been commanded to stay out of sight.
Let me pause real quick. So, Zygmundo, after you were brought inside, again, manacled behind your back, they slipped a pretty loose-fitting hood over your head. You could feel them.
As is customary.
Customary. You could feel them. They're being pretty rough with you, but they're not exactly beating you up or anything. So they're not too pleased, not happy with you. Certainly pushing you around to get you where they want you to go, but you're not taking any further damage. You do notice that you are going upstairs at one point, and then they kind of push you into a room, sit you hard down onto a relatively soft surface, and tell you to wait, and that they'll deal with you soon. And you hear a door slam behind you.
Am I free to take action at this moment?
You are, yeah. Again, you are manacled behind the back.
Okay. In a situation like this, where is my pack of travel equipment?
So they would have taken your pack or your gear, right? They would have. You wouldn't have it on you. You aren't aware of what they've done with it right now.
Okay, so do they have my rubber chicken?
Good question. So I would say
his first thought is for his chicken.
I would say that when they took your pack from you, shortly thereafter, you could feel a rubbery form materialize somewhere in your pants leg.
Good. Can I hear if anybody's in the room?
No one's in the room, but you do hear somebody talking outside, and they don't sound like they're very far away from you, but you can. It sounds like there's a door in the way.
Okay, so there's no way I can like really. It's like a muffled like, but I can tell there's somebody speaking.
You could try to get closer and
I don't want to move. I just wanted to know the status of my rubber chicken and if I could hear anybody.
you got the rubber chicken
In that order.
and you can hear something, but from where you are right now, you can't quite distinguish what specific words are that are being said.
Okay, and I'm on like a cushion. Is that it?
Yeah, you kind of bounce around a little bit while staying in place, and you feel like you're on some sort of cot.
All right. I'm going to take absolutely no action. I'm going to sit very still.
Okay. All right. So we'll cut back up to the street.
Do we have to?
So Steve, you're kind of watching through Hansy's eyes as he kind of scours around the building. Go ahead and roll an investigation check on Hansy's behalf. So this would be using Hansy's stats.
I think for the familiars, like intelligence, what would still apply to me, wouldn't it? Or is it Hansy's stats for an
I
investigation?
believe that it would be his stats.
Okay.
For something like this, where you're asking him to go do an independent.
Oh boy, not great.
If you were like casting a spell through him or something, then it would be yours.
Oh wait,
Luck.
but when I rolled it, it went through, and I used all my luck points. I haven't taken unconsciousness doesn't count as a
No,
long
we
rest.
did take a long rest. We went back after
When?
you escaped and slept for the night, woke up, and then
That
did
is
this.
true.
Oh,
It
okay.
makes any sense. You
Here,
just
that was, but as you said, that wasn't even.
But that wasn't his stats. Like, what die do I roll? It had the -1 modifier on it.
Right. So
what die do I roll?
so he has no benefit, no bonus. So it's just a D20.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, hold on. Don't before you do that, because he will have his stat bonus. So investigation is intelligence. He's got a +0. Yeah, he has no bonus, so it's just a flat D20. Okay. Which kind of so he as I mentioned, the doors are closed. Which kind of general direction would you kind of influence Hansy to go as he begins to search through the windows?
Well, I'll assume he's using his own native cunning for this part. I'm not going to be directly involved, but if the front doors were busy and closed, he would start looking around the side. Maybe some of the kitchen staff is coming back in. Maybe somebody left a window open.
Okay. So let's see. He heads around to the right, and so he flies into the open courtyard that you remember seeing during your time when you were in the sitting room. You could see out to your east. There was a kind of just a little courtyard area with a fountain, separate from the fountain that you're currently sitting by. And Hansy flies around there, and as he goes through it, it's actually the very first window that he looks in. He finds Zygmundo sitting on a cot on the second floor in a very small room by himself, but the window is very narrow.
So can he get in it or no?
The window is closed, right? It's a glass,
all right.
glass
Well,
window.
Then he'll now that he knows where he is, take whatever time is necessary to try to find his way into the house and be in that general area.
Okay, so he starts to fly further around. He sees a couple more closed doors. Not seeing anything open so far.
Okay, and if someone like heads in, he'd try to follow them. Like
Okay. Sure, but he is like kind of circumnavigating around the house right now, not
looking
waiting
for an
by the
entrance,
door.
right?
So, he would have to stumble upon somebody going through one of the side entrances right now. Like if somebody was going in and out of the front entrance, he wouldn't be there.
Well, let's say then that he goes up to the top of the house, stays in the air, and looks for opportunities.
Okay. So as kind of you guys are Steve and Hans are doing that, are Squawk, Recto, Roland, are you guys just kind of hanging out by the fountain?
I'd like to start the conversation with, assuming Steve is like in some sort of summon state to be able to see through him. I don't know how that works, but I'd like to start the discussion of what do we do? Do we want to try to talk? This guy just showed up in his house. Do we want to try talking to him, or do we think we need to bring in other people?
You should go talk to
Squawk.
you should go talk to Joe Ball.
Squawk. We're good. We're good, buddy. I'm gonna work with a couple people that I can trust.
You can trust me.
You know, so far I have not had anything personally against me saying I can't trust you personally, but no reason to believe I can as of yet. Don't take it personally, but I'm a guy who lives in the woods and is often alone, and I think my friends pretty careful. Those I trust.
Has Steve told us what Hansy saw?
So Steve is not in a trance. He is able to communicate. Probably is taking a little bit of concentration here and there to look. He can't simultaneously look through Hansy's eyes and do other things, but he can probably flip back and forth pretty quickly. It's not like he's not sitting with his eyes rolled back.
I'm blind and deaf, but not mute. I'll tell him we've located
We've learned that.
the room. Yeah, where he's in.
Can we trade your senses?
He seems to be unharmed.
That's good.
All right. Okay, so he's okay. All right. You guys want to try to talk to Joe Ball? Roland, should you and I... So here's the thing. We still need something from Joe Ball. We still need him to get us a guide for this jungle. So we can either... One option is you and I talk to Joe Ball about obtaining EQ as a guide separately from these jamokes here and pretend like we don't know them and get EQ's location and then deal with the Zygmundo thing separately. That's one option. Option two is we all approach together, try to explain ourselves, and hope that works out.
No, I think the option two only happens with the two of us as well.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I think option two happens with Steve and Squawk. Kind of staying out of sight.
I'm fine hanging out here for a while. This has been a long day.
So you're thinking we walk up there, pretend like we don't know anything about what's happened?
No, we walk up, we tell we've been told what has happened, and we're here to try to make things right. But I think having them here, one filled with holes, may not be the best thing. Plus, we can more easily throw them under the bus if they're not right here.
That's true.
You're lucky I'm deaf right now.
Oh no, I'm looking. I'm gonna glare right back at you, and be like, no.
All right, so you're thinking you and I go up there together to his place and try
to
explain what happened and talk our way out of it.
We go back and try to get help. We go back. We go up here like they don't know, so we go up here and try to do both.
So
do we know anything about this Jabal?
No. Well, I don't know. Steve, Birdman, you guys know anything about Jabal?
He's a merchant prince with very spear-happy guards.
Apparently,
you were wandering around his place for a while. Maybe you picked up some valuable information.
Do you know if he loves anything that we could trade for him? I mean, can we get like a big pile of spears and trade him spears for Zig?
There's a library in there. He seemed to want information, and he seems to be a big cushion aficionado. Maybe you can use that.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
super helpful.
All right, Roland. Should we do this?
What are we doing?
So in the interest of time, I say we maybe make an initial approach now and see how it goes. If it goes bad, we say we're friends with Syndra and Wakanda, and maybe bring them into the mix if necessary.
We're gonna acknowledge what happened.
Maybe just ask for the guide first. Get that out of the way.
Let's start with the guide.
That's a good idea.
Start with the guide and move on from there.
Okay, let's do that.
We really need a win here, guys.
Yeah, we do. We do. Low-hanging fruit. Let's just figure out where a guide is.
I'm gonna hold on.
Roland, do you want to wander around the house while I talk, or should should I wander around the house aimlessly while you talk?
I don't think wandering aimlessly is going to help us right now.
Okay, all right.
So what I'm going to do is I will stand behind you. And I will provide you with some guidance. So when you are speaking, you can hopefully speak better.
Okay. If I need the next time I need to make a roll, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's better that you talk because I can put guidance on you versus me talking. I can't. I mean, if you're going to be one asking questions or trying to persuade,
Okay.
it gives you something. I'll jump in where I can.
You okay with this?
Yeah, man. You guys go ahead. I'll have hands to keep an eye out.
Hey, don't do anything stupid.
I'm just gonna sit here. That's still my plan. Just sit here.
Squawk, we're gonna go try to
Let me know if you need me.
smooth things over. If you could just hang here for a minute.
Oh, I can do that. Okay. I'm going to go back to my initial plan before I went into the house of pulling out my musical instrument and just starting to play it for like the crowds.
I like it.
I'd like to take some time to telepathically communicate to Squawk medical human practices that are not filled with spit and worms. Just the concept of a bandage and how that works.
You're lucky you didn't shit into it.
Roll medicine.
Oh, right. To see if I can explain to him what a bandage is. This is one of those times
you're gonna need a high roll.
I wish I didn't have a -1 intelligence.
Hey!
Hey!
All right. So you're able to kind of telepathically, like you kind of form some visualizations that kind of cross cultural divides, and you feel like Squawk has a better understanding of kind of the expected treatments that you would have for first aid with humans. Whether he chooses to make use of that or not is a different story. But you feel like you've communicated them adequately.
Sure.
Do I get +1 in my medicine now?
No.
Okay.
No. But
Hey,
you
man,
do know
you
if you
gotta
spit in my
ask.
wounds again, I'm gonna rip your fucking beak off.
That's fair.
He's made it
Alright,
clear
so-
that he does not like that.
So Recto and Roll, and you guys walk up the driveway. This is the first time either of you have been there. Knock on the door. Knock, 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 knock. And a huge hulking guard opens the door. You're not an attendant as you might expect, but you see right beyond the door at least 2 more guards besides that one. So at least 3 guards right there in the front entrance. And one guard opens it. Yes.
Yeah. Hello there. We're in need of a guide, and would like to speak to Joe Ball about obtaining one.
Joe Ball is not accepting visitors right now. We are dealing with some internal matters. Come back tomorrow.
Well, we're here on the wish of Syndra and Wakanda.
Okay, so the guards kind of look at each other. Back to you. We do not know you. How do you know Wakanga?
We are from the Sword Coast. Syndra has told us of the curse that has overcome this land regarding death and resurrection. They have commissioned our help in solving that, but before we do, we need to obtain a guide to go into the jungle with us so they can aid us in navigating.
They kind of, the one main guard kind of thinks about it for a second, and actually go ahead and roll persuasion.
Plus D4. You can roll a D4 on that too.
Okay. So he says, all right, Joe Ball will want to speak with you, but you may not enter. Stay here.
Fair enough. I appreciate your help.
Okay, so
Would it be more badass if you had like a big imposing animal standing behind you?
Nope, we're good. We're good.
Just saying, could help.
Is the door still open?
Hey, show him your flaming.
no, he closed the door.
Hey, show him your flaming fist.
I'm not going to do that.
Also, they are at the door and they can hear my music, right?
They can hear your music. Yeah, you're probably like 100 feet away.
Okay. That's important just because that could be they could use a bardic inspiration point if they make a roll that they want to re-roll or roll out a d8 too. Correct.
If you use your bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Like that's a resource of yours you have to use.
Okay.
So Steve, here's what I would do is because you did say beforehand that he would look for an opening. If Hansy wants to, he could have tried to dart in through the open door, but it would.
No, the guy's too big.
The guard only opened it like a couple feet. Like he can throw the doors open.
Right. No, he's not going to do anything tricky. I've given him the telepathic impression that he's to play this one cautiously.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably under high alert, so you know.
Right.
Don't know why.
And it doesn't seem like Zig is in immediate danger. So.
All right. So a few minutes later, the door opens back up, and the guard, the same guard, approaches you or peeks his head out and says, "Jobal will speak with you, but not here. He will speak with you at Golden Throne. He has business to attend to back at the seat. He is headed there shortly."
What is the seat?
The seat. It is his seat. The seat of the Merchant Prince. This is where they do the business. There's he has some business to conduct. A trial tonight.
Oh, sounds. I mean, we just need a quick word. We just need to know where to find somebody. We don't really need anything other than that. Look, I mean, Syndra, a close friend of Wakanda, has told us she does not have much time and really needs us to get on with this so we can save her life. She is literally rotting away. Her face is literally melting off her body, and we really need to get going with this. I don't mean to push, but we, this is not something that can really wait right now.
All right, the Fel's face melting, I think, made a little bit of an impact on him. Go ahead and do persuasion with advantage.
Jesus Christ!
All right, so
He can roll a d8. He can roll a d8. I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration roll.
Is that additive?
Yes, you can add an additional d8 to the roll.
Nice.
So 14.
That's a powerful ability.
Okay, so the guard kind of rubs his chin for a second and says, "Oh, all right. I will let you in, but only you. And you must make this quick."
Yeah.
At this point, Hansy would like to fly right behind Recto.
Yeah, can he hop on my shoulder or something
he's
as
going
he
in.
goes?
Yeah, he's Raven size when he's flying, so
If he gets nice and close to Recto, I think he can get in without.
Yep.
bumping
Ride him like a backpack. Standard imp posture.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like,
So, Rector,
I'd like
you
to
go-
lower my head and kick the ground. It's like an shucks. I don't get to go in.
Oh, can I? Yeah, this is my. I can bring. Can we both come in? This is my colleague. We're both on this. We're both in this together.
No, I said only you, and you will make this quick.
Okay, fair enough.
Once inside, Hansy would proceed to the door where Zygmundo is being held and just stay there.
Okay, so Hansy doesn't know. So I'll get to that in a second. So Recto, as you walk in, it's this huge entryway with a 2-story tall ceiling, long rectangular pool with lots of ferns and tropical plants hanging all around, masks and wooden totems along the walls, and the head of defeated beasts mounted onto wooden plaques everywhere, all along the walls near the ceiling. And then they escort you into a rectangular sitting room filled with cushions, and the guard stays with you. He's just standing right there next to you, and
Security has drastically improved.
and says, "You do not need to take a seat. Just wait one moment."
Will do. No problem.
All right, so Hansy has entered, and let me pull up the map.
Don't show the map. It's nothing but trouble.
I'm not showing this. I'm looking at the map.
I'm not
That
going
was a
anywhere.
lesson learned, by the way. That was a total lesson learned for me. Is like,
Dude, that's
just
not
because
your
I-
fault. Not your fault at
doesn't
all.
mean that it's like. But it's not a fight all the things signal.
Yeah, that's a lesson learned by us, not by you.
For us.
Yeah.
Just because there's a map there doesn't mean you're now in a dungeon.
Yeah.
You're still in someone's house.
It's okay. I can still turn invisible and walk around somebody's house naked. It doesn't matter.
You're muted, Troy.
I love that look of confusion. It says, "What? I'm muted."
Here we go. I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mic does that sometimes. All right. So Hansy was in here before with you, Steve. Can you remind me what he did during that time?
While they were all wandering around, he went up to the second floor, checked out a couple of doors, poked around in the library a little bit, didn't really disturb anything, didn't find anything of interest, and then came back.
So Hansy's not really aware of how to get to the door that Zygmundo is at.
Well,
He
he knows
knows-
like what side of the house it was on, though, right? Like, because he
He
was
does. He does.
Yeah.
So he knows it's in the southeastern corner of the house.
Okay.
So he's basically right above where you are.
If he sees any guards in the hallway, he would assume that the guarded room is probably Zygmundo's.
Okay, so Hansy heads back out west, from you into the main room at the pool. Flies up north to the great room, right? The room with the two curved staircases going up on either side.
Yeah.
There's also a hallway at the end of that room going off to the left and the right. Does he go up the staircases or does he go?
Yeah, you said he saw through a second floor window, right? So he would
did.
head up to the second floor towards the side of the building, even if he wasn't sure exactly what door.
Okay, so he heads up to the second floor. He doesn't even have to take the stairs, right? He just flies straight up to the massive hole in the ceiling, or where there would be a floor, but it's just open. And there's a hallway going left and right on that top floor. Heading to the right, to the east, he sees a door on his left and a door on his right.
Okay. Any sounds coming from him, either one?
So he flies up close to the door left. He listens closely, and let's go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh, God.
He can't really tell what's going on that side.
Okay.
The rolls are.
But this
awesome
would be the
today.
northern side of the house.
If that's about as close as he can get, he'll stay there for now.
That-
Out of the
that
way.
side- yeah, that side of the house, the door that he's listening to, would not be where Zygmundo would be.
Well,
Because
then
it's the far northern side.
he'll head as close to where Zygmundo he thinks he is as he can get.
Okay, so so there's a door a little bit further down the hallway on his right. So the southern side of the hallway, it is also closed. Go ahead and roll a d20 to listen in on that one.
You hear a rubber chicken.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I'm glad this is happening now. You know what I mean? It's like this could be way worse under other circumstances.
So Hansy can hear somebody yelling, like an argument, but he can't hear what the details of that are.
Okay, he would not proceed down that door then. If there's no other doors immediately apparent, he'll just stay out of walking space and observe and wait for opportunities.
Up on the second floor?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's up there for maybe only even a few seconds, and he flies kind of off into the corner and perches on top of a boar's head that's mounted in to the walls of that hallway.
Nevermore.
And the southern door opens up, and a very richly appointed man with a dark beard steps out, and you can see through his eyes. You see an attendant following him, and it's the attendant that you recall admitting you into the house earlier. But he seems to be walking in service to the other man.
Okay.
And so the two of them head west down the hallway towards the two staircases that go downstairs.
Hansy will stay up there.
Okay. So the door that so kind of Hansy is able to peek inside of the room that they just walked out of, and he sees an incredibly luxurious bedroom.
Not what he's here for. He'll move along.
Okay. So there's no more doors in the hallway that he's in.
Okay. So, if it's still as close as he thinks he can get to Zygmundo, he'll stay there, assuming that someone will eventually come for him.
Yep. All right. So the two gentlemen, Hansy sees them walk down the hallway and turn south and start to walk down what he suspects is walking down the curved set of stairs. And roughly 30 seconds, a minute later, Recto, you see. Here, let me share a picture of him with you guys.
Oh, he looks nice.
He does. He looks very cordial.
He's a tall, slender man with a bit of gray in his beard approach you. He's clearly flustered, and he has a servant, a man that's kind of walking a few steps behind him, kind of clearly cowtoed, like very sheepish. And the man approaches you and doesn't stick his hand out, doesn't make any really formal greeting, but he does say, "I'm Jobo. I hear you are here on business from Wakanda."
Yes, Prince Jobal, thank you for seeing me. I won't take much of your time. I understand you're very busy. We are just in need of one of your guides. We are on a very important mission for a friend of Wakanda, and are looking to obtain the services of Iku to help guide us through the jungle, to help with a matter that is very personal to him.
Friend of Wakanda. I suppose you are here in service of the White Spider.
Syndra, yes. Well, I was not aware that you knew her, but yes, we are here to aid her in getting in fixing the ailment that has overcome her.
Well, I have many guides in my retinue. Where are you going? Which guide do you seek?
We have we're not entirely sure where we're going yet, but we are looking to obtain the services of EQ. We saw the brochures, and she looked like a very capable guide, and one that we could trust in guiding us through the jungle.
EQ, she is capable. Yes, a source of much frustration for me. She well, she has a mind of her own, and I do not always agree with it. So, if you would seek her out, you will find her at the Temple of Timora.
Okay, I appreciate that. And where is that? Where is that temple? We're somewhat new to the city, and have not really aren't all that familiar with it.
Go with them where it is, and he kind of motions to his attendant, and the attendant kind of pulls out a scroll with a map of the city, and he motions towards a section in the. So there's three main entrances along the southern side of the city. You entered through the southwestern side, what's called the Old City, and you just earlier today went to Tiriki Anchorage on the southeastern side. There's another entrance in the far southern side, just in the middle, and you see on the map that's labeled Malar's Throat, and the temple they motion to is there.
Dinosaur pens?
No. So that.
Oh, in the middle. Gotcha.
There we go.
Okay,
just popped up. Okay. Thank you very much. Just one more quick question. Why is she such a source of frustration for you? Is there anything we should know before engaging her services?
So what I think you will find with Iku is she does as she pleases, which, if you are an employer, is not always what you are looking for. So she is my employee now. If you hire her, she is your employee then. I wish you luck.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate the heads up, and we thank you for helping us out, and I wish you luck in the matter that you are looking to preside over.
He kind of his eyes grow small, and he kind of spits off to the side. Burglars! They are always trying to steal from us, from the wealthy. They envy us.
Yeah, that sounds right. Is there anything I can do to help you, or?
Oh no, we will dispense our justice. There will be a trial, just as there always is. Point 9 Zaru is ruled by justice, and then we will see what happens after that. Eh?
I understand. Thank you very much. I will be on my way.
Okay, and so the big guard escorts you out to the front door and kind of opens it up, makes it clear that he expects you to leave.
Okay. Yeah, I do not stick around.
Okay. All right. So you walk out, and right around that time, Zygmundo, the guard, perhaps the one that was you heard earlier talking outside of your door, he opens it back up, the door to your room, and you hear him say, "It is time for you to go. We are taking you to Golden Throne."
Oh.
He grabs you and kind of lifts you up to your feet and starts to escort you down the hallway.
Can Hansy see this?
No.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, I'm bound and
Yep.
stuff, so
Okay. So you feel him lead you through, then through another long hallway, and then down a set of stairs. And as you get to the bottom of that stairwell, you can smell spices and hear the sizzling of dinner being cooked. It carries you down through yet another hallway, and a few more minutes, and they've opened the front doors, and you can feel kind of the last bits of sun hitting your face as they escort you outside, and you can smell the odors of kind of the city, and you can also, while you're still hooded, you can feel things get tighter as a few other bodies press against you. And if you guys are still outside, what you would see an escort of 6 guards bring a hooded Zygmundo outside and starting their march to the northwest.
I will recall Hansy through whatever is the most expedient and safe means out of the house. Let him know that, the hawk is out of the nest.
So
Steve,
that good.
I was gonna say, if there's a way that we can kind of reconvene with Steve, and I want to be able to talk to Steve, but not in sight of the guards. So, like, if I can wave him over, like, behind I don't know.
You've been outside for a few minutes. You've probably been outside for at least 5 minutes.
Just get within 30 feet of me.
Once you got outside, you would have been able to walk up to the.
And he
it's
can
up to you
hear,
what you do.
he
But
can
well,
hear
they
me
were all
think.
sitting at the.
I can communicate with you once you get within 30 feet, and I would be curious as to what went down in the negotiation.
You can't send Steve a message though, and Steve, you can't just read minds.
No, I can't read minds, but I can communicate with him, right? If he's
If
within
you
30
send him
feet.
a message, I think he could reply.
Okay. Well, then that's what I would do. As soon as he got within 30 feet, I would want to ask him how it went.
Okay. If it's all right, I'll respond. Taking Zig to trial tonight with the Council of the Merchant Princes. We need to get back to Wakanda and Senjo to tell them what happened, so they can so they are prepared and can assist in his in get securing his release. Can you use your urchin ability to get to them very fast and explain what happened? Your
Maybe
urchin
about twice
background
as,
or your urchin
twi-
upbringing,
maybe-
whatever the
maybe
RP
about twice as fast as you, assuming they're at home. But if there's a council of the merchant princes, won't he be on his way there?
Well, we need to warn them somehow because.
All right. Well then, as soon as I can get Hansy out of the house, then I'll set on my way.
Maybe Squawk can maybe take a different route. Maybe see if they're on the way, since he has kind of a bird's eye view or something.
Works for me. I'll talk to him when he's done with this song here. This is a good one.
I like this one too.
So getting Hansy out of the house is a little bit tricky, right? Because
at this point, it would be fine for him to like just open a window and fly out.
Okay. All right. So he finds the nearest window in the hallway, and he's able to jimmy it open and fly out.
Whoop 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 whoop.
Back to me.
Whoop.
So I set off on the most obvious route and talked to Squawk and suggest that maybe he'd do some aerial reconnaissance to look for Wakanga or Syndra. First one to find him, let him know what happened.
I think you guys are aware at this point that this is where Golden Throne is.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned to you.
That big temple, the golden roof.
That's where
thing
that's
we
where
passed.
that's where they're going.
Yes.
That's where they said they were going.
So you might run into
Okay,
her out of the
so-
way.
Well,
So all of you
that's
are
the
going
hope.
there, and then Squawk was flying up to Wakanga's. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay. And Squawk, what's your fly speed?
Tell you in just a second.
Should
I think
be
it's. I want to say it's 50. I want to say it's 50.
I want to say it's 100.
Oh,
Well, I want to say it's like 1,000, but
I
it's
want to
50
say
feet.
it's 8.
It's 50.
Okay. So you guys are going to get to Golden Throne before he gets to Wakanga.
That's fine. We just need to tell Wakanga in advance what he can expect. If he's already at the Golden Throne, then,
Well, and
then
as we get to Golden Throne, we will also look for Syndra and Wakanga to see.
I'm gonna also have to figure out what went on because nobody has told me.
he'll brief you on the way.
Yeah, like I'm gonna group up with Roland and kind of we'll go together. And
So you guys are actually able to walk pretty much right behind the entourage that's taking Zygmundo. So you
and they don't recognize the people they just had a big fight with.
I've got a different face on.
so how much room do you want to give?
Me? None. I've got a different face. I just speed right by him.
I mean-
using my urchin speed.
And Squawk is flying, so he's gone. So there's no one else to recognize.
All right, then we'll be
We'll be with the mass.
basically
As close
behind
as
them,
kinda we
not
can.
right on them, but maybe in the I don't know 10, 20 feet
Second
back.
row.
Yeah.
Remember when you were playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? How close you had to be to the crowd to blend in?
Well, we're not trying to
That's
blend
our-
in with the guards. We're just trying, but yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of follow them up along the bridge, and it's a pretty short walk. He's Jabal seems to be situated really closely to Golden Throne. And as you arrive, you've seen this building before already, but it's enormous. Almost looks like a temple, but somewhere between a temple and Parliament. You're more of a palace, I guess. And very very clearly, there's this enormous golden dome at the top of the building, and the entourage takes Zygmundo up into the building, and they enter it. A couple of guards out in front of the building kind of open these enormous 15-foot tall double doors. Entourage goes in. They close the doors behind them. You didn't see Joe Ball with the entourage, though.
This is getting hairy, guys.
I assume I don't encounter either Wakanga or Syndra on the way up to his house.
You're muted again.
Who's my healers?
No,
No,
sure.
you do not encounter Wakanga or.
All right.
Bridge.
If I made it all the way to the house and didn't see him, then I'd head back to the court.
Wait. So hold on, I'm confused. So, Steve, were you going to Golden Throne or were you going to Wakanga's house?
I was gonna go all the way up to Wakanga's house, looking for him that entire path to see if I could intercept him prior to his getting there. If I did the whole thing and I didn't see him, I'd head back to the courts, assuming that I'd missed him.
Keeping in
And
mind that
Squawk was
Steve
also
can
going to Wakanga's
keeping in
house.
mind that Steve can move twice as fast as other people through a city.
And Squawk was also going straight to Wakanga's house, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. So both of you arrive at Wakanga's house at just about the same time. And neither of you see Wakanga or Sendra on the way.
Looks like we missed him. Feathers. We better go back to the trial. See how this goes.
Well, I'm talking about just seeing them outside. You didn't see them like on the street.
Oh, well, obviously I'd knock on the door and ask if he was home. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we take I think somebody wanted to take a quick break. So why don't we do a bio break? Be back in 10 minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Right. And if he's there, we'll just brief him, and then we'll see how this trial goes down.
All right,
They've-
Zygmundo.
They've
The
locked
trial
us
is
out.
Zygmundo.
They've locked us out of the trial. We are not allowed in right now.
Why not?
They shut the
Well, you
door.
didn't knock.
Well, we didn't.
I don't
knock,
remember him
that's
saying
true.
that. Yeah, he didn't even try to get in.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna get a beer.
You're friends of the accused. That'll get you into the gallery. And I should be a witness. It peppered me with spears.
At CVS Health, we go beyond providing the medicine you need to helping make healthcare more affordable and helping people take the right medicine at the right time, saving lives and money.
Whose commercial is that?
Counters in stores.
Oh, I was reading the news and it's a pop-up ad. I couldn't pause this one. I think it
Wait,
was-
your system audio is routed through Discord?
No, I've got a headset on, and the mic picks up audio if it's loud enough, if it's coming out of the headphone.
Ah, I gotcha.
At CVS Health, we
So, any ideas?
No, I mean, we've got a plan. Like, you know, if it gets to trial, you know, we can pipe up. You know, I'm filled with spears. We didn't really offer them any aggression until they'd already basically killed me.
if,
You know?
if shit 100% hits the fan, I mean, I can summon a shit ton of raptors and I'll just run through and hopefully he can get out.
Well,
you
no,
know?
if he gets sentenced, we know what they do with him. They send him to the dino pits. So let's let him take him to the dino pits and get him out there. We can beat some raptors. If you make it to the other side, you're free. That's what they told us our first day. So we can make it to the other side of there, and we're not even technically breaking the law.
You think? Are we allowed to interfere?
Well, as Andy says, if he is a bunch of raptors, maybe he's the ones they send down the tunnel. You know?
Okay.
Hansy can ride his back and help.
I mean,
I could throw a blast in there and knock one back.
why don't we do this?
Necessary.
Why don't we try to get a meeting with Iku and see if we can get Iku just to get him out for us and say, like, we need to take this prisoner with us.
How's she going to do it?
I didn't get
She's
the
just a
impression
guide.
she had a lot of legislative pull.
No, but she might know how to do a prison break. I think
Okay,
that's
well,
what Nick is saying, right?
Let's
I'm saying we don't need to do a prison break. We can see if there's any kind of leverage that she has that say like, oh well, we will take this prisoner with us as a penance and be like, if he survives, if not, if he brings you what we need, then like that's his penance.
If it brings what who needs?
That stuff. If we do that thing that he wants, isn't that what Zygmundo said? Like, oh hey, we want to do that thing that you want. You have that thing that we want. No, if we Iku can leverage and see if we can has any kind of leverage, and we'll take the prisoner with us. We need an extra body, and if he dies, then he dies. And if he survives and can help us with this death plague, then
Yeah.
he's helped us with this death plague.
I feel like our evidence is actually pretty solid, though. Nothing was missing. He didn't have anything on him that was his when he was leaving the house.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm just saying,
he did launch a fireball at them.
After they had basically killed me.
No.
That's self-defense.
No.
Yeah, it was after. They shot first. Guard shot first.
Well, that was because he tried to put them to sleep, and you tried to command them to run away. Then they
I
shot.
did command them to run away, which is a non-violent action. We were obeying their commands.
You used
I feel
magic.
like-
You used magic on them to alter their minds.
They used javelins on me to alter my state of existence.
After you used magic on them to alter their minds.
Why are you? What are you, the defense lawyer? I'm just a perfectly decent case.
I'm trying to
be made
prepare
here.
you for what's coming.
You don't know what's coming.
Okay, you're right. I don't. Go for it, buddy.
I like the dino pits option. I don't really care if he loses the trial. I think we can get him out of the pits.
All right. We back?
Yep.
No Zygmundo yet.
Yeah, do we really need him right now?
We don't actually need him quite yet.
Okay.
So let's squawk
He's tangential to all this.
He's Private Ryan in this movie.
It's
One
right.
big walking MacGuffin.
The movie is about you, but you're not really in it.
So, Squawk and Steve, you guys both kind of see each other arriving almost at the same time at Wakonga's villa. Neither of you saw Wakanga on the path here. You didn't see Syndra either, but you wouldn't really expect to because you got the distinct impression that she's going to basically be hanging out around his villa most of the time.
Right. Okay, so you want to knock on the door, or should I?
Go right ahead.
Okay.
All right, so
I make it.
what if he
I'm-
knocks on the door? The
I make a
attendant.
knock check.
Which
One of
way
the-
does the door open?
One of his attendants, who you've seen before, opens the door, recognizes you, brings you inside, and brings you back into the courtyard where you previously met with Syndra. Syndra's there still, and this time Wakanga is present again, and they're eating. So they've had some food brought out to them, and they're currently kind of scooping it up with some bread and eating it.
Okay. Now, are we aware that we have hired that Iku has been given to us that Jabal has granted us Iku as our guide?
He hasn't granted anybody anything. He just told you would have heard from Recto that Recto learned to look for Iku at the Temple of Timora. It's not really he hasn't given her to you. That's not really the way it works. You need to go hire her, and you now
He's
know
like
where
an
to find
ambassador to them, but we have to go
Also-
hire her.
Also,
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Okay.
that's not exactly the headline here. So it's like I'd like to let them know that things went awry. Brief them on the situation and implore them to come down to the courts to.
What do you
speak
mean by
on-
brief them on the situation? I'm just
Yeah. So let's play that out. So Jabal.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's why you don't. You can't just gloss over that.
I kind of tell them what happened.
What I do not understand. What happened? I sent you. I gave you a letter saying to go see Jabal. I knew you would need a guide in order to go into the jungle. Now one of your friends is in prison. I am sorry. I am not.
So we do have a good lead on the guide. We'll prepare to set out as soon as our party is reunited. Unfortunately, when we went to Jabal's house, there was a bit of a misunderstanding with some of the staff. Squawk here is not as sophisticated in urban conventions as we all might hope. And we were.
As he says that, I grab a grape and just eat it off the table.
And we were thrown out. We left. Our companion Zygmundo, a bit skittish after all the commotion, tried to make himself invisible and follow us out. After which he was attacked. We tried to continue to follow their orders and leave. Once he was attacked, I turned back to go help him. I was literally peppered with spears, and I showed them some of the spear wounds. Zygmundo tried to defend me. I was grievously wounded and almost killed. And when he tried to defend me against this unreasonable onslaught, they held my life hostage and imprisoned him, and now intend to put him on trial.
So
Obviously, this is not optimal. We're ready to head out, but we could really use some help resolving this situation
Not optimal.
prior to that.
friend, you have made a very grave mistake. Jabal, he is not a good enemy to have. I count him as a friend, but I would not trust him in an alley in the dark.
We have no intention of making him our enemy or our friend. We just need him to understand that he thinks that our friend is a robber. Nothing was taken. We were assaulted and badly used by his household staff. And I'd at least like some advice as to how best to handle freeing our friend, if you're unwilling to intervene personally.
I can tell you that if you had done to me what you say you have done to him, the things that would happen to you would be very bad. And
We just fussed about it in the kitchen a little bit. Jeez.
I'm much kinder than Jabal. I can go with you to Golden Throne. I do not know if I can help here, but I will at least be present, and I can speak for Syndra as her friend that we have asked you to come here, and we expect to see you leaving the city. I do not know that will be enough. I have to be honest.
I'd also like to know if he was found guilty of what he's accused of, and he didn't do it, I might add, but if he is found guilty, what is the sentence for that?
Well, if he had just broken into the home of a beggar or the home of
Well, he was let in.
What my understanding is, from what you have said, is he did not leave when he was expected to.
Within seconds, he was out the door. But that's neither here nor there. What will happen to him?
He has. I believe that they will kill him.
Through what means?
Well, if he is unlucky, they will chop his head off.
That does sound unlucky. What if he's lucky?
I do not know. Maybe a fight to the death in the Colosseum. Maybe if he is very lucky, consigned to slavery, working a ship in the bay.
Oh, man. Okay, I get the
Yes,
gist.
ship.
Thanks, Wakanga. Please come with us. I appreciate whatever assistance you could proffer.
Okay, well, we should go now. Sindra, I am sorry.
Oh,
that
yes.
I'm gonna leave.
We should definitely go now.
All right, and so he kind of pushes his plate away, gets up, and he's following you in a hurry.
Okay, great. We're headed back to the courts.
Squawk, you're just walking with the two of them?
Yes, I'm walking with them.
Okay. All right, so we'll cut back over to Recto and Roland. You guys are outside of Golden Throne.
I think
You saw the entourage take Zygmundo inside.
Roland, I think you might need to lead on this one. You might need to head in. They know my face all too well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow the crowd in as kind of an observer because I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to kind of be. I guess is there a crowd? Like what am I?
It's a crowd of guards, right? So you would stick out quite distinctly if you tried to go in. It wasn't like a. It's basically 6 guards in a circle around Zygmundo.
Oh, buddy.
This is an outdoor, but they're getting to the building.
Yeah, this is who's been walking down the bridge, and they walked up the steps. They're about to enter Golden Throne.
And are we allowed in Golden Throne?
You don't know.
I think if you show him a flashing that can blow up trees, that'll probably go along with that.
You ever seen this glowing before?
I will kind of continue to follow because I kind of want to see where this is going.
Okay.
We all do.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I
why
would
we're
do
here.
with him surrounded with.
The two ornately adorned guards open up these enormous double doors and let the entourage come through. As you kind of start to approach it, they pull their spears down and cross it off and close the doors and say, "No entry unless on merchant prince business."
Right. How many people are we surrounded with here?
They're at the top of the steps of Golden Throne. It's just the 2 guards.
But I mean, are there spectators?
Not where you are right now. Now, if you walk back down the steps, I mean, so to kind of paint the picture here, the way this works is like you're walking along a street, but then there's this enormous set of steps. Imagine going to the U.S. Capitol building, right? You've got a series of steps, probably 30 to 50 feet long, horizontally, that lead up to the building. That's kind of the way it works, right? So there's not really much in the way of people on the steps. There are plenty of people walking along the street. You see a few people coming and going from some of the side doors of Golden Throne, but not a lot of people just hanging out right outside the front door.
Does it look like a building that would have a number associated with it?
It does. It's number. I think it's number 4.
Yeah, it's number 4
Yeah,
there.
he already gave us one.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong building.
Um,
Part of my problem right there.
Good God.
So I will kind of slowly turn and walk away, but I would like to kind of examine the building best I can. Is there any other entries, be it big or small, that can be seen? Windows cracks, doors
Yeah.
open.
You see at least 2 entrances from besides the main entrance from where you're standing. One on either side of the front door, but quite a ways away, probably 30 to 50 feet down the side of the building.
Mm-hmm. It's a door.
Smaller entrances look like maybe for the workers.
It's an actual door.
It's a door.
Is it open or closed?
They are both closed, but if you wait
Right. Yeah.
really.
It would appear so based on my roll. Yes.
You're overestimating how important you are to these people.
Okay, so Roland, you're exploring more. And a few minutes later, Steve, Squawk, and Wakanga show up and meet up with you, Recto.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I'll meet up and just kind of bring Wakanga up to speed on, hey, we have obtained a guide in EQ. We're just kind of following along here to see they brought Zygmundo in, but we were not able to go in. However, I think Roland was able to sneak in after changing himself into a lizard of some kind. So we do have a man on the inside, but I think
why would you bring that up? We must seem like the shiftiest people.
Sinja has maybe made a grave mistake with her trust in you.
No, we're not going to cause any...
No, you listen to me. I'm a merchant prince of this city. I invite you here into my home. I recommend you to one of my peers, the merchant prince. You and your friends invade the sanctity of his home, causing me all sorts of political problems, I am sure. And now he is going to be taken into Golden Throne and justice will be served, and you have your other friend scattering around using magic to hide inside of our most important administrative building?
Look, we brought him along because he's from the woods, okay? We're going into a jungle. This guy is not comfortable in big cities like this. He doesn't understand how it works, okay? We are the people you want. We just need to get out of this city so we can be on our way and be on with the business here. That's
These
all
skills
we
are
want to
much
do.
more valuable in an adventuring situation than in a
Exactly.
bureaucratic one.
We are clearly way out of sorts in this city and do not wish anyone any harm. We just want to get out of here and try to help you with what you need our help with.
I will do what I can to help save your friend, because Syndra is my friend, and I do not believe that we have the time to find somebody of better competence. But I will tell you this now.
You definitely don't.
You will receive no more help from me after tonight. This is it.
Fair enough.
That seems fair, yes.
Let's go. And he just...
I do not... yeah, okay, I guess I'll...
Yeah, why
I'll
just
whisper
spill
to
the beans
Steve.
about our lizard thing?
I'm gonna whisper to Steve real quick. Should I go in?
He's inviting us in with us. Just
Okay.
follow him and,
All right,
and
I'll
keep the yapper shut for a minute. Letting him know we got a lizard
You're
in
right.
there. What do you think?
You're right. This is all my fault. You're
we're
right.
on trial for theft.
Yeah, this is my bad. This is all my fault. Yeah.
It's good that we can assign blame.
Yeah.
Now we'll move forward.
So you follow Wakanga through the halls. Recto and Steve and Squawk are following Wakanga through the halls on the main floor, and you walk down this long hall. You can see the balconies of a second floor where Roland, where you are, up on either side of this humongous hall. 3-story tall hallway that's probably 100 feet across, 3 to 4 stories tall. Filled with these enormous columns, some benches, and then at the end you can see a large, I guess what do they call it? Like a dais, like basically a raised section of a dais, a raised section of floor round, with a number of thrones there. And you can see Jobal is not seated, but he's standing on the dais. He's talking to his attendant and a couple of other clerks you don't recognize as you approach. And it doesn't seem like the trial has started yet. You don't see Zygmundo. Zygmundo, you've been pulled into a side room, and the hood has been removed from you, so you get to see this big, beautiful marble building. But you've been kind of pulled into a side room nearby.
You've been a little preoccupied.
Oh, how I like my family's place. Italian.
Just like a Sicily.
It's nicer enjoying a moment of nostalgia
Like my
there.
home in Tuscany.
Just
God.
sightseeing,
There's nothing to rent there.
enjoying the architecture.
So as you guys approach, Jobal turns and sees Wakanga and looks very surprised, and kind of steps down from the dais towards Wakanga. Wakanga, what are you doing here? We finished our business earlier today. I am too busy to deal with you again. Let us speak tomorrow. Wakanga kind of motions to the three of you that are following him and says, I understand the friend of these gentlemen caused some problems for you at your home earlier today.
Ah.
Not terribly helpful, but I would volunteer. Yes, Prince. I think we should speak. There's been a bad misunderstanding, and your household staff nearly killed me. And nothing was taken. We did nothing but follow their orders the entire time.
That is not what I hear. And
Well,
the fact that they nearly killed you is why I am very upset. Because I expected them to do better than that. Nearly is not sufficient.
Obviously not. And then I'll just hang back. I feel like diplomacy is not, with Jobal directly, is not going to be successful. I would like to ask Wakanda who decides the fate of trials.
Wakanga pulls you aside and tells you that each merchant prince administers justice for their own parts of the law.
Oh, dear
and
God.
Really,
Hell.
basically, everything they have jurisdiction over, including their villa.
Their house. Okay. All right then. Well, let's enjoy the show, fellas. I feel like this is gonna go how it's gonna go. I don't think we really have a shot at chatting our way out of this one.
So Jabal and Wakanga speak aggressively towards each other for a few more minutes, and Jabal reluctantly agrees to let you all stay for the trial.
I nod politely.
That's
So we'll start the trial once our defendant gets back.
Have I found my way there?
Depends. You could have you would have probably figured out after a few minutes that the upstairs was just a ring of offices all the way around the circumference of the building.
Mm-hmm.
bureaucracy.
So if you kind of peeked over the balcony into the floor below, you would have seen some of this happening probably, and could have crawled down a column to meet up with him if you'd like to.
I would like to kind of stay out of sight and in lizard form.
Okay, so you can just stick to one of those columns as a lizard, and there's probably like 2 or 3 other lizards in the column with
Do
you.
I have a tiny like King Growl crown on here that they know it's me?
Sure. Yeah, you have a little King Grawl crown on your head.
Okay. So I'm gonna hopefully be there and see if I get noticed.
You do find that you have to fend off the advances of some of the other lizards.
Hey, you know, I've lived in the woods for a long time. I know how this works.
Because, I mean, that crown, you are the most dapper lizard.
That's how I roll.
All right, so Zygmundo, they bring you out, and they bring you up onto the dais. You're still manacled, but you don't have the hood anymore. And you see the merchant prince, who you kind of figure out after a minute is likely Jobal, seated on one of 7 golden thrones that sits around the dais in a circle. And you can see kind of down the steps, you see Wakanga, and you also see several of your friends and party members just about 20 feet away from the proceedings. And so they march you into the middle of this dais. Like, so it's just you and two guards to either side of you who are kind of holding your arm. They march you up there and just stand there. And after a few seconds, Jobal rises from his throne and says, "By the order of the Port of Nine Zaru, I call a trial to order. You are charged with breaking and entering my home, my villa. How do you plead?"
Not the guilty.
Okay. Well, so the trial begins. And so after a second, one of the guards steps away and walks not too far away, but just about 10, 20 feet, just to the edge of the dais. Another kind of a clerk-like guy, nobody you've seen before, kind of walks up to you and whispers in your ear and says, have you been to a trial in Port Nine Zaro before?
I haven't.
No, I have not.
So he's talking to Zygmundo. Sorry, he's up there with Zygmundo.
Sorry, I think 90% of us got that.
Okay.
There's not 10 of us.
And so the guy leans over and he says, "You'll be expected to give a testimony for yourself, to proclaim your innocence and tell the merchant prince, plead for the merchant prince to understand why you are innocent. After that, you can bring whatever evidence you may have. They will bring whatever evidence they may have. And, well, judgment follows."
These manacle doohickeys that I'm in, what are they? I mean, am I aware of them as a wizard? Of like, do I know what these are?
You're pretty familiar with them. So they're non-magical. They're just iron, but they're made in such a way that they basically clamp your hands on either side, right? So they're not just wrist handcuffs, right? They're
like
hands. Yeah, they're made to keep you from moving your fingers, right? Like in a world where, like, otherwise you would never be able to imprison a wizard, which would be a problem in a world like this.
I mean, I guess it really depends, and this goes a little bit deeper on how the magic lore and how spells are cast in this universe, and so I'll default to you on that. But
so it's the spells are different, right? So for example, if you wanted to. If you had a verbal-only spell that you wanted to cast, you'd be able to do it right now. They would see you and hear you doing it, of course. Right?
Right, so verbal only is one that doesn't necessarily count, or like require elements to cast? Is that what you're saying?
So there's really three kinds of elements of a spell. There's verbal, right, which you know what that is. There's somatic, just being able to, make gestures, West Coast game signs with your hands, right, to cast a spell. And then there's the ingredient-based one, right? So and that's normally hand-waved away to say if you just have a focus on you, that's sufficient, right? So probably you've kept your focus. I would say if you had it, do you have
I have a talisman style focus. It's a pendant.
So then I'll say you have that still on you.
Okay.
If you had a component pouch, it probably would have been taken from you, but the talisman you would likely have retained. But you can't move your hands.
Okay.
So after a few, 30 seconds of awkward silence, Jobal kind of gets frustrated. He's kind of shifting around in his seat, and he says, "The defendant will give his testimony."
Oh, God.
Master of eloquence, Zygmundo.
Give us your initial statement. Why should we not find you guilty and sentence you to death?
Yes, so I was invited into the home, like you might understand, in the way of a guest, as you might call it here. And so what I was doing was I was just making sure that there was no wrongdoings going on while we were waiting for our host.
You What kind of wrongdoings were you looking for?
The kind that involved the funny business. But for right now, we did not find anything. And what happened was a very grave misunderstanding, you might understand. And so before things got out of hand, we tried to flee. And then, this, that, bing, bang, boom, we got a problem.
Yada yada yada.
I got it.
I mentioned that
That is
part.
what you call a problem.
We're
And,
covered in
this is a
spears.
misunderstanding, I assure you.
My gods tell me that one of your friends was found in a part of the villa that they were not supposed to be in, and they were kicked out of the villa.
Wasn't there a sign?
I am speaking, but that you did not leave with your friends. You remained hidden, invisible, and then my gods found you, and you attacked them.
Am I allowed to speak now? Like I'm looking for a social cue that allows me to speak.
He's ready for you to speak now.
All right. The things happen very quickly. You might guess, and I was not able to leave at the same time, but I did as fast as I could, and I admit did not favorably end for everybody.
Why were you invisible?
It is the nature of my kind to do it when I can. Would you not be invisible right now if you could be?
No, I would not.
Point to the defense.
One should see Jabal. You see, like, his attendants like clap and kind of roll their eyes.
Nice detail.
So he waits another few seconds and says, "Well, is that it then? Is that all you have to say for yourself?"
I clear my throat.
Oh.
I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, I beg you, this is not looking very good, and I know that, but what I want to say is I'm a stranger here, and I beg the mercy of the court to please be very generous with your mercy, because that's all I have.
Okay. So he kind of shakes his head and he says, "Now we will present the evidence." And he motions hurriedly for somebody to come up. And you see one of the guards that had been one of the 6 guards that escorted Zygmundo to Golden Throne steps out of line and steps up onto the dais. And Jobal says, "State your name, God." And the guard kind of says, "I am Terran. Terran, tell us what you saw." And the guard goes, "I was guarding the door, and something bumped into me. I did not know what it was, but I knew it was something magical. We just expelled the 2 other troublemakers. We got ready for combat, and then we were attacked by some manner of spell. I do not know the nature of it. We fled or followed the fleeing individual as flung open the door. We came outside, and then we were attacked and engaged by 2 others, the ones that we had just expelled. After a few moments, we were able to subdue one of them, but because he was not the one who had attacked us, traded his life for the life of the defendant before you." Kind of just says, "Done."
And I'd like to have a quick outburst and go, "That's not right at all. That's not what happened. They covered me in spears."
And Jabal looks at you and kind of points, like clearly like in a shut up kind of way, but without actually saying that. He ushers.
Telepathically tells him.
No, just the eyes. So he ushers Terran off the stage and says, That is one of my own men, one of my best men. I trust him to guard my home. I do not know why I should not believe him over all of you, but I, because Wakanga is here, will allow one of you to come up and provide your evidence in favor of your friend. Choose one of you to come up.
I'd like to take this.
I also volunteer. As a victim of their violence, I can prove it.
You know what? Hold on. Discussion, because I don't want to type this. From my point of view as a player, unfortunately, Steve is just as much as a criminal in their eyes as the trial is playing out to be. So it may not be the best case scenario for you to go up.
I think it's fair for you to choose your own counsel.
I'm not looking to choose.
But who would you prefer?
Do we want to roll for it? And
No,
let's play short straw and just roll whoever rolls the highest.
So I have me personally, I have no say. But if I were to have a say, I think that from a playing standpoint, that Steve, unfortunately, you're just as much as a criminal in their eyes, except that the only thing I've done is a noble gesture of replacing me for you.
All right. I will.
No, but I mean, I appreciate a discussion. I don't need a.
No, that's a sensible argument, and it occurs to me that being a neutral party might be an advantage to a legal counsel, and so I'll just let Recto know that if he needs any information, that I will be in mental contact with him.
I mean, unless Roland also would like to do something.
Well, he'd have to turn into a person at this point, and that looks a little shady.
So then also, I guess Nick would be the other one if we want Squawk to do
Does
something.
anyone think that's a good idea?
Okay, all right. So, if that's the case, I'd like to step forward.
I'd like to actually move closer to Zygmundo, though.
Okay,
I'd also positioning
column, and you're actually able to crawl up onto one of the steps of the dais, and even onto one of the empty thrones.
I'd also like to dispatch Hansy to go hang out right near Zygmundo.
Okay, so Hansy is kind of just hovering
Above him, yes.
about 5 feet above Zygmundo's head.
Okay, we good?
Okay, so who steps forward onto the dais up next to Zygmundo?
Recto.
That'd be old Glowy Fist.
I activate my stone fist. No, I don't.
Master of Persuasion.
No.
So you step up there, and Jabal kind of gives you a head nod and says, "Speak."
Thank you, great princes of Chult. We are not here to enrich ourselves. We are not here for advancement of our own causes. We are here and have come to this land to help each and every one of you. As many of you know, death is broken in this land, and that curse is expanding. And as nobles in this town, you feel this more than anyone, as you have the means to bring yourself back, if you so need to. We are here to fix this death curse. Right now, if you die, you do not come back, no matter how much gold you have. Many of you in this room may have died already, and your time is running out. We stand here deciding the fate of a man who has come to Chult to save your lives over a minor misunderstanding. Let us go into the jungle of Chult and find the origin of this curse. I'm sure the wild jungle of Chult is punishment enough for whatever crime you think this man has committed. Let him face those challenges while also trying to save your lives and the rest of Farron. We ask for the court's mercy here, and in return, we will sacrifice our lives to save yours.
I'd also just like to send a quick telepathic message to Recto to just let him know that it occurred to me. They admitted they let him in, so what is he being charged with?
That's not the angle I'm playing here.
That's fair enough. Just something to keep in mind. I mean, they admitted they let him in. He didn't take anything. What's the crime?
I'm not making a legal argument here.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm making a mistake. But
No, I just thought I'd bring it up. Proceed.
That's a good one.
that's all I have. I'm done. And
Sorry, my microphone was fucked again. So Jabal sits back for a second, thinks about it, and then starts to laugh.
Ah.
And he points at Zygmundo and kind of wags his finger. This is your friend. Your friend does not even try to innocence. You say you are innocent. Your friend says just throw you to the jungle as you are guilty.
Oh boy.
all due respect, sir, I did not say he was guilty. I said if
But
you
why
choose.
would you not tell me how he is not guilty?
I do
unless
not
he
wish.
was?
I do not wish to tell this court how to find their defendants. That is not what that is not my intention here.
What kind of defense is that?
Are you speaking right now?
No. No.
Are you saying that out loud?
No.
Okay.
I am
Right.
upset.
Respect to the
No,
court.
so be it. So be it, friend of Wakanga. Please rejoin my illustrious peer down there. He kind of motions for you to go back to Wakanga.
Okay. Okay, that's all.
Who am I to tell you not to find him guilty? His defense counsel?
Okay.
You're right, Hillers. You've handled this situation so much better than I have.
It's just crazy.
Why are we here
Court would
again?
be like, yeah, who's to say? He's probably guilty.
Zygmundo, can you roll a... Hold on.
Roll for neck strength.
Roll a d20 minus 5, please.
Oof.
Nice.
All right. Sorry, I'm just adding things up here. Now roll a d20 minus 6.
Oh no! These are how many limbs you'll have left.
Okay. All right. So, so after a few minutes, just sitting there in this awkward silence as Wakanga kind of just sits there and stews and just stares at Zygmundo. And says, "No, I have made my decision. I will pass my judgment now. I find you guilty." He just waits to see
That's not great.
what happens.
This is Joe Ball or Wakanga?
However, this is a non-elimination leg.
time for the lightning round.
You do not get the rose.
He motions for somebody off to the side. He stands up, and a guard comes, bringing a golden sword.
Jeez.
And the two guards on either side of you, Zygmundo, kind of force you down to your knees. Sword.
You get down on your knees and tell me you're not innocent.
with
Not
the ball.
guilty.
Wait a minute here. Hold on. Time out.
Mhm.
So they're gonna try to execute me? Is that what's happening?
Certainly looks that way.
How many people are in this room?
There's probably about 20 people. You see, if you look around, you see about 8 to 10 guards and probably another 10 to 15 attendants, clerks, civilians, basically.
About how far is it from where he is right now to the door?
It's far, like 200 feet.
Oh boy. Okay.
To the main entrance, anyway.
Yeah.
Probably about 50 feet to any of the side hallways.
Okay. I hope you guys are okay being wanted. I can't feel like I could let him go to his death after he sacrificed himself for me. So
We're not surviving a room with 20 people.
So
well, they're not all gonna
No,
bust out
it's
swords.
only-
Most of
it's
them are
8 to 10
bureaucrats.
guards. We don't know.
hang on, because I'm up here. Troy, what is the turn order here in terms of
Wait.
like?
Well, we haven't done like an initiative or anything yet.
Well, there's
No.
already combat.
I know, but one of the things I'm looking to do right now is
Things are proceeding very ceremonially. They're slow. It's not like no one's rushing to chop your head off in one slice right now. Like, it's all very ritual at the moment. So you've got time.
right. Okay, yeah, but I think Rector here has asked appropriately what is the sentence. So I'm being found guilty. We can presume by previous conversations that it's not looking good.
You could ask.
Does somebody want to ask?
You can ask.
You're the guy.
You're the
You
guy
should
whose head is
probably
about
have-
to get chopped off.
I would think you'd be very interested in the answer to this question.
Okay. Oh, what's going on here?
Javal kind of is like tilting his blade, looking at it kind of shine, and says, I told you you have been found guilty. What do you think happens if you break into the home of a merchant prince of Port Nyan Zaru?
All right.
You get a sword?
Wait. Can Hansy see if any of the guards present have keys on them?
I would say all the guards have keys on them,
Oh,
like jingling on their belt. Yeah.
boy, that's probably not going to be helpful. Is there? I'd like to mentally ask Zygmundo if he knows which guard put the cuffs on him.
I have no idea. I don't know if there's any way for me to tell. I had a hood on my head.
No, they cuffed you first. They cuffed you first and then put the hood on.
They cuffed you way back at the front yard.
They cuffed you immediately and then they put the
Okay.
hood on.
I mean, there's no way for me as a player to know that information.
So you can ask me.
What a guy look like that cuffed you?
Okay. So, Troy, is there any way I would know which guard cuffed me?
So you recognize a few of the guards from the fight, right? And you know that it was one of them because they did it immediately, like as soon as you surrendered yourself.
And how many of them are present currently?
You see two of them. So one of them just gave his testimony and is standing over to the side off the dais. And you see another one also standing near Teron, which was the name of that guard who just gave his
All
testimony.
right. So I let Steve know that it's one. It was potentially one of these two guys.
Hansy would like to try to steal the keys off of Teron.
Okay. So Hansy flies over, drops behind.
It's
Teron.
got to be
Can I-
something.
Can I?
Diplomacy has failed us, dude. They're
can
gonna
we
kill him.
ask? What,
We don't know that. He's just.
we don't.
looking
Can,
at
can I
his
say
sword.
no, sir? We don't know. We don't know what happens. What is the sentence? We have not heard. We don't know.
So before we get there, go ahead and roll sleight of hand, Pillars,
For me or with his
for
stats?
Hansy with his stats.
Is that a D20?
Let's see. What's this? It's basically give him his dex. If it's D20 plus his dex bonus.
All right, let me look at his stats here, but here's the dice. I'll probably luck die that.
Aren't you out of luck die?
You need to have the plus.
I thought we
No.
took a long.
He took a long rest. He's not out of luck time.
No, but didn't he use them all in the last match? He used them all.
I get him back after a long rest.
You used them all last week, I thought. I used them in last week.
We
I
didn't
thought,
play
during
last
the
week.
week. We used them last before when he died, when he had spears.
No, he didn't.
Because he used them to survive. Because he used them to survive his to not be
It's
killed.
even worse. And here we go again.
That's not how they work.
I think he did. I think Nick's right. I think Steve used them to reroll.
I used them all. I was told we had a long rest.
We did have a long rest, but that way we had a long rest before you had all the spears thrown in you, and then you used them.
If that's the case, I have none. I thought we had a long rest somewhere.
Well,
in
how would
between.
he have used them to have when he had spears thrown into him?
Because
to
when he-
avoid death?
yeah, so when he rolled a death saving throw that he didn't like, he used a luck die to re-roll that saving throw. He actually
didn't
Oh,
like-
it was so the
permanently
death
died
saving
without-
throw we're talking about. Okay.
Didn't like it because it would have killed me. Yeah, if we hadn't arrested in between there, then I have none.
So Hillers, do you not track that on your sheet?
I do, but the question was I was hearing from you. Oh, we've had a long rest, so I put them back, but it was
Not-
0
Okay.
at the end of.
That was
last
only a
week.
few hours ago. That was only
Right.
like
Yeah.
maybe 4 hours ago at this point.
I agree with you. I just
said
wasn't
we
looking to
did
give
after
horse in the
you-
mouth at that point. But it's 0, right? So I don't have that. So he rolls a 9 on the sleight of hand plus his modifier, whatever that is.
Plus 3, so that's a 12. So Hansy kind of comes down and starts to unlatch it. You know, the little loop, little leather loop that is on the belt. Starts to pull it off, and then the guard kind of just shifts around, and starts looking around, almost like he noticed something but isn't quite sure. So Hansy's not quite able to get it off the belt, but narrowly avoids being noticed.
Okay. I'll.
All right, moving on to the
yeah.
questioning now from
So Recto had something he was going to say.
Yeah, sir. I've asked what is the sentence? We don't know. We're unfamiliar with your customs and your laws here.
He kind of a little bit ignores you and turns to Wakanga and says, "Wakanga, how should we treat our guests when they invade our homes? I would say death." And Wakanga,
I'd like to yell out, "You let him in!"
Can you
Just they can ignore me.
so Jobal turns and looks at you, Steve, and kind of stares at you for a moment, committing your face to memory.
This face.
What do you actually look like right now?
Commit away. I don't know, some dude.
Some random. Okay.
Yeah. I don't look like me.
All right. That does not mean that you can stay when your invitation has been reached.
Teacher, I have a teacher question. Did he recast the spell after he became unconscious? Coming back
No.
to consciousness?
I never did. I never
So
did.
what Nick's saying is that you would have lost your disguise when you went unconscious. So here's the thing. I remember
Is that the case for disguise self?
because it's concentration, isn't it?
I don't know. Let me look.
It almost certainly is. So, but here's the thing. Hiller's already said that he was disguised going down the street. I'll take that to mean he would have recast it.
That's
Assuming
true.
you have the spell slots.
Okay.
Assuming you have spell slots, I'm saying that you did that, Hillers.
It's not a
If you don't
spell
have that
slot
spell
for
slot,
him.
we've got a problem.
It's
Okay,
a cantrip
it's
for
not.
him at this point.
Yeah. It's
Then
an
you're-
invocation. I can do it whenever I want.
Yeah, then you're good. You're good. But you should look and see if it's concentration, because that'll mean things
It isn't.
at the same time. It's not
It's
concentration.
not. It is not.
Okay, so then he might still just be disguised from before he went unconscious.
I'd look like the same guy anyway. You know, I would disguise as the guy that they stabbed, with the thinking that maybe witness testimony might be useful.
So Wakanga leans into Squawk and Recto, kind of ignoring Steve and moving to the side, and says, "I think your friend has met his end. You may have to go on without him."
We cannot do that. If you want us If you want us to help you, sir, and your friend, we need this man.
They don't care about us.
Why should they? We've got
Yeah.
nothing but
It's
trouble.
not them that care. They're not the ones that care. That
We
care
were
about.
brought here for a reason, and we're going to do everything we can to fulfill the mission you have given us, but we cannot do that. We were brought here because you believed we could do this mission. We cannot do that without this man.
Yes. All right. It is as you said at my home, and it is as I said. I will try to do what I can to help, but this will be the last of it. And he steps up, and he steps forward to one of the thrones in the circle and kind of holds on to what you suspect is probably Wakanga's throne and says, Jobal, I entreat you, show mercy on this man. He is a stranger to our ways here, and he should be expelled, but he should not be killed. Jabal kind of puts the sword down.
Uh-oh.
He was going to do it himself? That's
You're-
pretty balls out.
Your mic went out again.
Yeah, Troy, you totally went
Halfway
quiet.
through, a critical moment.
Yeah. this bit right here.
Yeah.
All right, so Wakanga basically says, "Hey, just kick him out of town. He's an idiot. Don't kill him." And Jabal walks forward, angrily gesturing, like, drops a sword to his side, and says, "I cannot just let somebody go after they do this in my home. It is.
I offer him a rubber chicken.
I do not know why I would want such a thing. Please be quiet before I chop your head off. It is what I want to do anyway."
It's worth a shot.
So Wakanga and Jabal argue for a moment, kind of in hushed whispers. Jabal finally says, "Okay, fine."
Nope, your mic went out.
Fine what? Fine what?
So basically, you hear Wakanga and Jabal negotiating a bit in quiet whispers. You can't really hear exactly what they said. But at the end of it, Jabal steps back and kind of turns to Zygmundo and says, "Well, today may be your lucky day, or it may not. We will find out soon, because your friend here has convinced me to let you go to Executioner's Run. And then we will see what you are made of, and you can try to win your life."
Is that the Raptor Pit?
Yeah, it's the Raptor Pit. It's all coming up aces.
Sir, what is Executioner's Run, if you don't mind clarifying?
Who are you asking?
Is spot number 2 on the map?
We don't know the rules or anything. I'm asking him to clarify what Executioner's Run is.
You're
I'm
asking
asking
Jabal.
Jabal, yeah, the one talking.
Jabal turns to you and says, "You will find out soon enough. Or ask your friend Wakanga here. He seems to be doing so much for you. I have a little project to oversee." And kind of gestures to his friends and leaves out the western door quickly.
He's
There
probably,
are so many different ways we could play this.
he's probably going to tell EQ to not help us in the jungle.
He's got some Quaaludes he's looking to hawk on the street because prices is going down.
Should I quickly then move over? Can I assume that you were saying that to the group?
Who was saying what?
That Recto was speculating that he was going to interfere with EQ.
I mean, I that's something I would say. Once things broke and everybody started kind of talking and discussing things, yeah.
Fair enough. And I'd say, okay, well, let's talk about this Executioner's Run thing later. I'm going to go see if I can hire us a guide and move at full urchin speed to the temple.
Okay, so you take off with Hansi, I assume, towards the...
Yeah, Hansi comes with me.
Okay, and the guards take Zygmundo and start to walk you off to the west, about 30 feet behind Jobal. They're still marching you.
All right. So we were at what, number 4?
You're at number 4, and now
We're
they're gonna.
heading toward number 2, presumably.
That's what they've said. Yes.
All right. And I have the thingamajiggers here, which do not allow me to wiggle the fingers.
No fingers right now.
Can we approach Wakanda?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Troy, real quick though, is there any way on my spell sheet that I am able to tell what limits me versus my magic and spell casting?
Yeah. So if you pull up a spell, so like let's use an example. Let's go to. I'm just gonna search for magic missile in the
Sure.
in the
It says
compendium.
VS.
Yeah. So the S is somatic. That's finger.
Okay, so it requires both of those. So anything
That's
somatic, I am not able to do.
That's right. So you can cast anything that doesn't have the S.
Well, that's nothing. Unfortunately for me, that is Jack's squat, as they say in the professional realm.
Okay. So like I could give you an example of another class that I know, like Wild Shape, for example, has no somatic component.
No, don't even worry, because I literally have no spell that requires an S. That does not require an S.
Okay.
They're all S.
You may
gotta-
have
They're
discovered
all
a
up-shape
discovered a
creep.
weakness in your
Yeah.
spell listing.
Yeah.
Now I know for the future. Thank you.
You better get some more dexterous toes if you're gonna be doing that.
And I think that there's actually feats that allow you to ignore certain things.
Yeah, like
as well.
Warcaster or something like that. Yeah.
Use a feat for that though. Would
Yeah.
be.
Well, as he's trying to do is use a foot, right?
Yeah,
He's trying to
right.
use
Yeah,
his
use a
for it.
feet to use your feet.
Hey, double meaning.
There you go.
Okay,
Look
so
at this
you
guy.
approach. The Recto approaches Wakanga.
Yeah. Hey there, big guy. 2 questions. One, when will this go down? And 2, what are the rules?
The rules are simple. He must make it from one side of the run to the other alive. If he can get out of the pit, he has earned his life. That is the best I could do for you. I am sorry. And I will say it came at a great expense that I will not be forgetting anytime soon.
I totally understand, and we do appreciate it. As far as interference, can there be assistance given in any way by anyone else?
No assistance. He runs alone.
Geez, stands alone.
If they were to catch you attempting to help your friend, it would be death for him and for you.
Okay.
So is there any kind of little hiding spot that I can be in and turn back to human and kind of walk up in an area fairly unnoticed?
Quick.
It's getting late, so a lot of the bureaucrats have left, so it's not as busy. So if you were to just kind of turn behind a column, you could probably transform back without being seen. Somebody who was really paying attention would notice that you didn't seem to have ever entered, but no one would necessarily see you transform.
Okay.
We
I'm gonna
noticed.
do that and walk up and tell Howdy that thank you very much for what you did. If we can repay anything that you have lost in this exchange, you be sure to let us know. We are in debt to you.
You can pay
To
that.
get us this far.
He looks at you and says, you must be the lizard man. Your debt to me will be paid when you have delivered to Sindra what she has asked of you. My debt is to her, thus your debt is to her.
Well, thank you for your help. We may have some additional questions about this executioner's run if we may inquire.
They will try to do it tonight, but for a spectacle such as this, when a merchant prince has cast the judgment himself, they like to spice it up a little bit and change the run. It depends on how long the court mages will take to reconstruct the run in the way that the Jabal has requested of them. It will either be tonight or early tomorrow morning.
Is this an obstacle course, as you say, change the run?
Well, there are many dangers. Obstacles could be some. Traps, perhaps. Monsters, for sure.
I believe we saw what looked to be. I think when we came in, we noticed they were doing grafters. Correct? Am I correct in that?
Yep.
Troy, have we do you have this queued up, or are you planning on doing this at some other point?
This is probably next time.
But we're probably gonna not get to it tonight.
With 13 minutes left, it's
That's what
Somehow
I was.
we've gotten 2
So
extra sessions
all
out
I'm
of this
trying to do is
madness.
get as much information about this as we can, especially.
this is the cost of it. Another session.
Yeah. Just go get
So
a
I
guide.
think-
Just go get a guide. That's all it was.
Do we know what kind of monsters when we came through here the first place? Of knowing like what can we expect? You know, in terms of this general monster.
So what you saw velociraptors the first time, but the pit was pretty plain when you saw it. And what Conga is telling you is that it may not be very plain for Zygmundo's run.
Think Ninja Warrior.
Will he?
But with raptors.
Will he have his hands available?
So Ninja Warrior, but better.
Yeah.
You don't know that, but you can ask.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to ask. Will he have his hands available? How even will they make this? Or is this really stacked against?
He will have his hands, yes. They will unmanacle him, but there will be mages and sorcerers and gods and archers there to make sure that anything that he does remains within the run. If he tries to fly away or cast some spell to attack your ball, anything like that will be met with death.
And he just needs to get to the end.
He needs to get to the end.
So
Will
what
he
time
have a
is it
fair
now? When is this going to happen? Do we have any idea?
At
So it's like-
nighttime.
It's like 6
2
p.m.
hours.
right now.
Yeah.
Basically, they're not sure if it'll happen late that night or early in the
Well, I mean, for me though, that means quite a bit.
Yeah, so you're in a different situation because you're following them. So they're just asking what
you
Conga,
don't know.
Right. Okay,
who
so
really only knows like generalities. He's like just telling them, here's the way it normally happens.
So
I understand, but like, what I'm trying to do is me, Andrew, as a person,
get a long
Yeah.
rest.
figuring out whether I'm going to roll deeper into the character I've already set up, or whether I'm going to figure out whether or not that I'm getting a long rest and I can do what I need to do.
Sure. So
We can try to delay somehow, maybe. I don't know.
Is that a good idea?
I don't know.
I mean,
Like sabotage
Unless-
the pit somehow. I'm not sure how we would do that.
I think there's a good chance you'll get a long rest.
we
Okay.
should definitely
so,
try to
so he'll be able to
sabotage
use
it.
magic as long as it is legit in the pit. Is that right?
But, okay, so in the meanwhile, though, all right, so I've been.
He gets to use
All right, so
magic.
they're asking
That's
that. They're asking that. I've been sentenced. Where am I currently?
You're right now. You're just being walked, right? And they're walking you down towards Executioner's Run. And so, if I fast forward a little bit in the interest of time, from your perspective, Zygmundo, they walk you down there, and you see Jabal speaking with a few magicians, wizards, telling them something you can't overhear, and then they kind of gather around the different corners of the run, and they start to cast some sort of ritual magic that transforms the insides of the run slowly, and it's happening quite slowly, and you can see Jabal kind of after 20 minutes get frustrated with the pace that it's happening at, and kind of motions for your guard to bring you over, and Jabal says, "It is not going to happen tonight. We will do it first thing in the morning." And he points at you. "Dawn, we will see you in the run, and then we will see whether your friend Wakanga has saved your life or whether you have just wasted his money." And so
I
and then they kind of
apologize to everybody here about how this turned out. This was this is not how I thought it would be. Giving myself up freely, I would have nuked the shit out of Steve and left the party. That's how that would have gone.
Why do all party abandonment things end up with attacking Steve? Why is that? Why is that the plan of everyone that wants to leave the party?
Well,
So they walk you back to Golden Throne and take you to a little cell in the cellar of Golden Throne.
all right.
Can we ask who controls the monsters that get put in there? Where do they come from?
That guy you threatened.
Can I ask the DM?
So you're asking Wakanga?
Yeah.
So Wakanga basically tells you that it depends, and it depends on what Jobal has requested. And so basically Jobal can request dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs would then come from Tiriki Anchorage, which would come from the merchant prince that is in charge of the dinosaurs. But he might also be looking for other kinds of creatures of the jungle, or maybe even mystical magical creatures that can be summoned by his mages. It really just depends on what's tickling Jobal's fancy.
Who does he request them from? Who does he talk to? He has to have a point of contact that he talks to.
So he would normally talk
by the
to
way,
him.
I know we're way off script on this module right now, so I know you're making this all up on
Yeah.
the fly.
So seriously, Troy.
And it's very
I know I've
impressive,
said this
by
a
the
bunch
way.
of times, but I played with other DMs, and they are shit compared to what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
I know,
let's wait
I
and
know
see
we're way off script here.
if you agree. If you still feel that way next week.
well, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. Like the
No,
level of
you're
effort-
rolling with the punches.
Seriously, the level of effort you put into this for us is amazing, and it doesn't matter whether my character dies or not. Like I still feel that way. Like
Second.
Yeah.
Second that.
But I think you'll enjoy the run. We'll see. But so Wakanga tells you that Jobal would have a mage who's in charge of the run for him, and that all of the merchant princes generally have one of their mages who's kind of the supervisor of run activities for their kind of in their own little justice department, basically, right? The attorney general of mages.
They're kind of like their regent or something like that.
Their little Jeff Sessions, right?
Can we get him to recuse himself?
And so and then they would then work with their own mages, or if they needed to rent a dinosaur, rent a pack of velociraptors, they would go over to Tiriki Anchorage, work with that merchant prince, or probably wouldn't go directly to a merchant prince. They'd probably just go to it's basically a market, right? You can just if you guys just want to buy some velociraptors, you probably can here.
We can? Just to be clear for future sessions,
Yeah, absolutely
we can
we
buy
can.
a pack of rappers?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes, we can buy a pack of
You
rappers.
can
a pack of
have them
rappers.
for free.
To the hip, to the hop, to the hippity hop.
Do we
should
know-
definitely do that.
Do we know who his mage is? Like, well, can he tell us that?
Wakanga tells you that he's not sure. That's kind of basically below his pay grade. He says basically if you talk to Wakanga's main attendant, the guy that you've encountered before, his house manager.
He'll be willing to answer all of our questions, I'm sure.
We'd
Well-
have to trick him or something.
He's the guy that would know. Wakanga wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
I'd like to
Jabal-
ask
yeah.
if Zig will actually get a fair run. Is this a?
Oh no!
No.
So Wakanga actually takes that very seriously and says, every run in Port Nine Zaru has to be fair. They will let him in. He will be able to fight for his life. It will not be easy. There will be many challenges, but if he makes it to the other end, he can do so without impediment from Jobal's gods. If he makes it out, he is out. He's a free man.
Can they
Is
sense?
there
In
anything?
the eyes of Port Nine Zaru.
Is there
So much-
anything that can be done to help him or aid him?
If they were to see you doing something to help him, it would mean death.
For who? For him or for us?
Everybody.
Asking for a friend.
So much trouble for a B&E, man. The social cost of this.
Well,
Basically,
it's a B&E against the wrong guy is the problem.
It really is.
he emphasizes if they were to see you do it, right? Like,
Yep. No, I caught that.
did it, that's fine. But if they see you doing it, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill you, or they're at least gonna try.
Yeah. Will we have a long rest?
Yeah. So, after maybe an hour, it makes a messenger in the service of Wakanga makes his way to find you guys near Golden Throne and let you know it's not going to be tonight. Zygmundo has been taken somewhere safe, and that at first light the run will be ready, and he's going to go.
Can I assume I successfully hired Iku, or is that for next time?
That'll be for next time.
Fair enough.
Well,
good
Before midnight, everybody adieu.
Good guess that you had there, Recto.
One last question before we wrap up. Who does anybody go to join Steve in securing Iku's service, or do you guys all go back to the tavern?
Oh Christ!
I'll take care of it. It'll be fine.
I'll go with Steve.
oh
Oh
god.
God, no!
Oh, God.
That's the one I least wanted. I mean, look, guys, I'm just hiring a guide. I've got excellent persuasion.
That
I know-
sounds more
I-
difficult.
Actually, no, that's fine. I'm going to go back to a bar, and I'm going to continue my.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone would have. Like, I think he ran off so quick. I don't know that anybody would have.
I was acting on a
That's true.
tip. Yeah, and I'm moving twice as fast as them. I'd be halfway through the conversation, but by the time they even got there.
All right. So DM Fiat, you arrived, and she had already departed for the day. They said that you would be able to find her there the next day.
Okay. Well, then I'd try to go find the party at wherever we were staying, man.
Okay.
All right,
So you
guys.
guys all make it back to the tavern and go to sleep. You take a long rest, and then Zygmundo's going to have a busy Sunday.
A busy day, a full day for Zygmundo.
It's gonna be a Zig heavy episode.
That was good.
Excellent.
All right,
Damn
guys,
it.
I am off.
See you, man.
Yeah, I was thinking we should have an American Gladiators themed episode, and here we go. Ready?
Well, we'll just have to see what gets thrown at us here and see if we can react to it.